she called us my husband a pussy hole for over 6 hours. Sitting there going, pussy hole, pussy hole, pussy hole, pussy hole, for 6 hours. I'm not joking, people. That's how pathetic they was. And then Betty sent me an email asking me, would I like to come onto her show to discuss the abuse that we'd got as an interracial couple on Raspix. And I did so. During that discussion, Betty brought up her son. But there wasn't really any dragging. People didn't really drag her son. I think the comment was something like from Betty was something like, you'd think this woman would be concerned about the son that she's lost, not sitting online being abusive. And 5 years later, I make Betty right. Doesn't mean that I agree with everything Betty's ever said in her life. It doesn't mean I agree with everything that Betty does. Betty doesn't agree with everything I say. Betty doesn't agree with everything that I do. But on this one occasion, Betty's right. Because this woman has turned that story into me, apparently, picking on her. Who am I to judge? The person that she took her anger out on. The person that she took her anger out on. So, on that occasion, Betty was right. Now, I don't know what the politics was with all these people. Or they're into politics. I don't know. And that's not none of my business. What I do know is that I ended up, and so did my husband, on the receiving end of abuse from a woman who basically is a hypocrite anyway. Because over the years, I've watched this woman sit with Ninculus, bigging him up and saying he's right. Who have I asked for help, Raphael? So listen to this stupid comment from idiots like Clownworld. I don't know, Lady Divine, but oh, wow. Yeah, another hater. Another one getting themselves involved without even knowing anything.
So I have a question for Divine. Why does it that she's meant to be campaigning for, stopping these violent attacks on the streets of UK, but you're running around online attacking people and using threatening language? This doesn't make any sense. It defeats the purpose. Why don't you focus on your actual what it is you came online to do in the first place with Gang and focus on that? Just saying.
Right, so that's not true, Mighty Morphin. You don't know when my brother's here and when my brother's not here. But if you want to speak about my brother, you can go off and do it elsewhere. Go and do it on your own channel. There you go. I have my brother all over Christmas. I have my brother in evenings when he sleeps.
Can I get a mod, please?
What?
Can I be a mod just so I can cut you timed out?
No.
I'll be talking to you about Bean about your modship.
That's okay if you want to take my modship off me. I don't care. It's not. I don't listen. Spanner. I'm not one of these low IQ people that need to spanner everywhere.
But I just told you so I don't get timed out, and you just said no. So you obviously don't not for free speech. Hey, focus on Divine. Sorry.
No. So.
Sorry. Focus on Ruth. Ruth is Ruth an idiot?
Yeah, no. I'm just reading a comment at the moment. So
But what I'll say is this: yeah, Betty. I mean, Betty having getting angry at Divine for her saying about her fake child. I mean, yeah, we don't know if Betty's got a fake child. We don't know if Betty has a child, but I can see why someone will get annoyed by that. I have to admit, you know what I mean? You can definitely have to be practical here, but
right. So hold on. We've got a comment here from this fucking idiot, right, saying people should leave other family members away from their revenge. After all the stuff that you done and sat with to do with myself, Ginger Tony, Hel Gower, Tommy Robinson, Danny Tomo, and Danny Roscoe. Are you taking the piss, mate? Go and do some self-reflection. Go and do some self-reflection before coming here to tell me what I can and can't talk about. Because what I will do is do it in as respectful way as I can. That's what I will do. What I won't do is cast aspersions, although many could be founded from the circumstances and what this young man died from. What I won't do is pretend that I know what it feels like to lose a child, because I can't imagine anything any worse in the world. But what I will do is talk about what I do know. And what I do know is that if I lost a child, I'd be doing my damnedest to get justice. I wouldn't be sitting online, yeah, slagging off everybody else when I still have my child's murderers wandering the fucking streets. I wouldn't sit online saying snitches get stitches and agreeing with that motto and backing that kind of motto when A, I've already gone to the police and I've already put out public appeals, and B, is creating a situation, that very ethos that prevents people coming forward to get justice for my child. So, of course you can say that. I don't know why you're saying that. I don't know why you think you're funny, Festive Tale. So, people, I just want to point this out. See this little insignia here with a mouse after it? Means they're part of a troll gang. Okay? These people have got nothing better to do with their lives other than to troll individuals and talk nonsense, cause as much trouble as they can, and run around talking about other people. They're very sad, and they talk a lot about sexually disgusting stuff. So whenever you see this little mouse here, you know that it's almost like Pizzagate.
a paedophile sign, paedophile insignia.
Can you stop interfering, please? It's almost like the Pizzagate insignia. So just so everybody knows what to look out for in the future. Now, Tell, you don't normally come over here. You are part of a different group. So, fuck off. So, Clown has affected many kids' lives by his words and deeds, yeah. Yeah, and there's many people that do that. Many people that do that. In fact, Esau, to be fair, you're one of them that has actually got involved in that, because you're faceless person. You have gone after people's children when you're faceless, right?
I go after anyone who goes after me.
That's that may be, but you have gone.
You know that yourself. Don't pretend like that's like I just target people for no reason, Drew. But that's bullshit. Don't do that.
I never said that though, did I? Did I say that you targeted anyone for no reason? I'm sure everybody that targets people have their reasons. So, what I will say though is that I don't believe, that it's just to spend 5 years online being vitriolic to somebody else about their family. When for obviously you don't want to talk about your own, even though it would help you get justice. So All Eyes on You has got videos out there that tells you everything you need to know about clown world. I think in recent days, before we get onto this main bit, people have become to understand that all the stuff that was said in the very beginning about Mandy Mosley and Athena has come true and been proven to be true. And only those that are fools or let their own emotions cloud their judgment or their own personal dislikes cloud their judgment would believe that these people are good people. You know, I think it's been more than proven. But there are still people out there that will continue proving that these people are not nice. And good luck to them. I'm glad that there's people that don't take their fucking foot off their neck. I'm glad there is. Seriously. Because all of that mouse group, they're not nice people. All of the group to do with Mansley, Mosley and Athena, they're not nice people. I don't need to sit here and call individual fucking names. What do I know about people are going through after losing their child? Well, that's none of your business. Debate me about everything you said, you lying trash. Why would I want to debate you, clown? Why? This isn't about you. This is about real world issues. Yeah? Where children are dying all over the fucking place. Families are suffering all over the fucking place. And instead of staying on topic and talking about that, a person has come on here and trolled my family for 5 fucking years. And why has she done that? Well, my belief is because she's a racist. I mean, there's no doubt that she probably doesn't like my personality. There's a lot of people that don't like my personality. But they don't troll me for 5 years, calling my husband a coon. They haven't trolled me for 5 years, going on about my children. My children are not suffering as well every time I'm on YouTube doing a stream. My opinions are not my children's, Raphael. And only small-minded individuals that believe in cancel culture, yeah, individuals that want to silence truth would actually try to emotionally blackmail and intimidate mothers from speaking truths based on their children. And that's the level that you've gone to with your intimidation tactics, Raphael. And it doesn't really work. So we're going to need to get rid of them again. Right, wee man, I'm going to drop the link out. You can come on and say it with your own voice. Come and say it with your own voice. You really got no empathy towards anything. You're a vile piece of work, Dupes. Anyone that's been around long enough can see how low you go. You act so innocent. I'm not innocent about what? How is it going low talking about the truth? Let me ask you this, wee man. If it was your child, hold on, Kaylee. If it was your child, wouldn't you want justice?
Wee man's slightly biased. He's Divine's personal friend. They know each other from the same hood.
He probably knows people that were involved in, maybe.
No, basically, he just look, and you have to look at it from their point of view. That's quite clearly his personal friend. He knows it and probably knows the situation. And he ain't happy if you chatting about it. But he has to remember, you didn't bring it here. She did.
So, Kaylee, is that you?
Oh, hiya. Oh, am I on mute? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, you're right. I think was that you that just signed me out? Can I ask? Because it's at this point, it's silly, really, because you sat there talking about free speech and everything and talking the truth and whatnot. But at the same time, if we're addressing anything that is relevant, even if it's uncomfortable and we get timed out, it's just zero.
Fuck off and do not address me.
No.
Fuck off and don't address me, please. Fuck off and don't address me. I don't like you.
Right,
don't
okay, stop.
No,
Esau doesn't have a spanner.
Well, somebody, but see, it's kind of
Who
irrelevant.
gives a shit? No one cares. Just fuck off, man. It's not about you. Go back to the Divine, please.
Right, so you can have your hissy fits at me.
Don't make this into an argument, please.
No, there's no argument, Jupiter. It's gone well past that. This is mental. It's just fucking mental what's going on.
What's
you
mental?
are complete. No, you're just in fucking denial about everything. You are sat there with a guy you can't even give a fucking spanner to. That guy is destroying people psychologically, right?
Oh, fuck off, man. Go do something to yourself constructive. Seriously.
No, listen.
Go do something yourself. Leave people on. Stop following me.
With Esau, and if you genuinely
Esau,
have children
I want to
of your
talk to her,
own,
please.
you need to
Don't
really address
interject.
what's going on here, mate. You've got to address what's going on here. This is not healthy at all.
Right, what's not healthy?
The fact that you've got some guy that's, I'm not even going to go into, I'm doing really well by not getting personally invested.
Tell me that was the internet.
Anymore, but what he has done to me, and you have been part of, Jupiter, you can't deny has happened.
What Esau has done to you is nothing.
No, what you've done to me has been pretty fucking horrific yourself, and just because you can't remember.
Fuck off and die, man. Shit.
Oh, for God's sake.
God, this is ridiculous. You have to face up to the fact you do a lot of things that you can't remember, and then you go and create bullshit to cover up for it.
What can't I remember?
Right, I really wanted to not have to go into loads and loads and loads of old stuff. I was kind of hoping this period might have allowed for people to actually do some reflection and think about the way they've behaved, but absolutely not. Everybody's just going back to the way they were, so we are going to have to start going through old things. And it's not because I'm a cunt. It's just because you can't carry on behaving like this.
So, number one, you're not my mum. You can't tell me what I can and can't talk about, Katie. Number two.
No, within the law.
No, hold on. Let me finish.
What? Within the law.
Let me finish.
You are not acting according to the law, and I can give a flying fuck what plastic police anyone's got running about. I know what the fucking law is, and you are not acting.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you better learn the law. Take some time off the internet and go and learn some stuff. Do that.
No.
Okay. So carry on
doing
what you're doing, and we'll just deal with it the way that we need to deal with it. Crack on.
Okay. So you see, what we got there is people that are mental. But another lady Divine. She didn't want to have a conversation. I allowed her to speak, like I always do. I allow everyone to speak. I even shut up Esau so that I could speak to her. Okay. I even put him in the back when he said to her that she should go and die because I don't agree with threats. So, I put her in the back. No, wee man's not backstage. He won't come on here. What he'll do is just talk nonsense about Lady Divine and make out that, I'm vile for actually talking about truth. Okay, people think that I'm 100% narcissist. I don't mind. What's that supposed to be to me? So what we've got here, right, is a case of Kaylee Enav coming on, throwing herself about all over the place. And she's entitled to do that. But when you ask her to substantiate anything she's talking about and have a normal conversation, she can't do it. This is a pattern of behaviour that she's done for months and months and months. And she done that, so she's got an excuse, and mark my words, to go over to her channel and just keep putting out bullshit about me. I don't care. When are you going to realise, Kaylee? Yeah? So Pablo Phillips gave me $4.99, and thank you for the super chat, and says, name one positive thing Esau has done since you've known him. You can't, can you? Esau is poison and he needs to deplatform him. I'll tell you what Esau done, one positive thing. Him and Bleeding were the only people that actually saw the truth and didn't troll me over what happened in the Discord. Everybody else got involved and said it didn't happen when I knew it did. Kaylee Enav says, you're not my responsibility. You lot need a wake-up call. I'm not a lot. I'm not with anybody. I stand on my ones. In case you haven't noticed, it's just me. And you're right. I'm not your responsibility, Kaylee, and that's why you can't tell me what I can and can't talk about. So Trucker said, I've mass reported this stream and I hope you lose monetization, you scum. Mass reported it for what? What have you mass reported it for? Hmm? Kermit O'Grady says Veddy is going to use this for content. He's entitled to. Veddy can say what he wants about. Look, Veddy's got his own thoughts on his own subjects, just like everybody else. So, what I'm going to do is play Betty's stream, okay? And we'll go from there. Some people, Katie, why do you always do that? I see you in here the other week asking someone to tell you who they are. Why is it your business? It's not your business who people are. Just behave yourself. Right. So, going to start with this. Share it and then cover the screen. Now, as I share these, I will be putting the links in the side chat for people to be able to go and actually visually see this stuff, because there is visuals in it that people can see for themselves. But I'm not putting the visuals up on here. But it's there. So let's start playing this.
Oh, hi. Just, if you don't watch the G Block, you don't watch all the channels, then you wouldn't know who I'm talking about. But I'm going to talk about this woman, Lady D, or I can't even remember what her real name is. But the very fact that she wants to use the death of her son for clout in her, That's what this woman does. And she's just a bully, absolute bully with that fucking naive for the ones that think they're goddesses. Yeah. And the original woman and all this bullshit. Very snide, likes to mock other people's children, but then gets upset when her son gets mocked. And the irony of it, into where you want to mock other people's children, but then you get upset when your child gets mocked. Now, this woman, Lady D, she's from the gutter, fam. Jim Slip mum. Just this stereotype, yeah, of what a Caribbean girl is that had children before she even popped out of school. That's how she is, yeah. But she's a bully, absolute bully. This girl has been. I used to have a channel. I used to have another channel before, yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true about Lady Divine. I'm not even going to cast aspersions on that. I don't know if that's true. I do know that she shouts her mouth off. I don't know if what age she had her child. And to be honest, it's not my business. It's not. I don't care about that.
This channel, but hate has got to it. Yeah, so I remember there was a time when Wendy and Dupes came on, and this was like years and years ago, and it was only the beginning. I didn't really know Jupiter and Wendy, and we were just discussing Lady D. Now, this Lady D, this girl has done. So I remember when this girl was threatening me, she was going to roll down to Manchester and come and do me dirty. And this Lady D, she like a stick insect. She moved like a famine victim, like she don't have food in the cupboards, yeah? And she's short. She's not as tall as me. So this idea that some little famine victim like this Lady D, fucking crackhead that she is going to come down to Manchester and sort me out, it's just a fucking joke. Do you know what I mean? The minute you try and strike me a blow, you're going to break because I don't know when's the last time you had food, yeah? But it's really disgusting to use the death of your child to come and insult and try and emotionally blackmail other people on the panel. And what's funny about it is she's mocking other people's children, but then says that apparently her child shouldn't be mocked. Yeah, very, very gutter, yeah, very gutter, screaming and hollering. Now, me and Jupiter and Wendy have had our differences. We said things that we don't, we regret, we've apologized. And I don't want to argue with Wendy and Jupiter because I don't really care too much about them in that sense because they're not in my life, innit? And I wouldn't have ever really called them friends. And I would just call them internet associates. But the thing that I like about Jupiter and Wendy is if I send them an email, they'll reply. But that other fucking, that weirdo Naifa, God, I've never seen a woman call on another man's husband constantly. It's just embarrassing. I don't think Naifa.
Right. So for those that don't know, this is Betty. She's got several channels. And Betty over the last few years became quite close to them. They was all in the same group trying to promote black betterment, etc., etc., etc. Now, she would understand
the lies of the Gun family. The lies and the remix
better than Wendy.
Big up everyone anyway. You know what I'm going, yes,
these two women have been going around.
For those that ain't involved, just click out in it. You get me? You know them ones. I beg.
Okay. That was their excuse for trying to get everybody on to attack me. Her excuse was that I attacked her child, and you're going to find out from Betty herself,
the most reliable source on the internet.
You're also going to find out from Betty herself that Wendy Woo's got the actual recording but has not brought it forward. She won't bring it forward because Wendy Woo has fallen out with me.
Wait, this is for evidence and documentation, family. We'll break it down after.
You see, I'm sick and tired of the hypocrisy on here.
We know why she thinks she's got a little.
They want to go on like I'm the most
a little disagreement amongst couple sisters.
And Irish, I know that that's upsets you, me doing this. I know you think it's morally wrong. But many, for months, sat there and let this woman get away with her filth, privately knowing that she had already lost a child and that child never got justice.
Listen to this finessing family.
And that all her talking about black betterment.
Yo, you're going to live and learn today.
About how close the black community were where she is. Because I don't think they represent the black community anyway. I really don't. All this snitches get stitches.
That's respect.
All went against their own fucking family and their own child. It's quite amazing, really.
Yo, family. Yo.
So,
it's
carry on playing.
Hilarious. Somebody's hurt.
How can you, as a woman in your 50s, you know, this Hector, they say Hector been married 20 years to Jupiter. How can you go online to call on him and say that this Hector is dreaming about you at night?
Because it's a fact.
In the presence of the wife.
He's not dreaming about you, but he's definitely dreaming about me. Is that what's hurting you?
You're begging a married man to notice you.
Yep, absolutely. And it shows you a crazy state of mind when somebody does that.
That's what's still hurting you. That the midget fancies
20
me.
years. I just don't tell
And now it's hurting Betty as
well. Knobheads on here. We'll go looking for the details.
The jealousy's mad.
Pablo Phillips says 1999 for the Nigerian Fund. Peace and blessings. Thank you, Pablo Phillips. Thank you. No. Kenny says nutty people are best avoided. Yeah, I agree. And do you know the sad thing, Kenny, right?
This is what I'm
saying. Now, for what,
but we'll also play some of
I don't really want to be arguing with anybody. I will just avoid them. I left these women to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels that I can think of off the top of my head. There's probably more. And they still followed me around talking abuse. They're fixated on myself and my husband. And I've got every right to defend myself and to talk rationally about this. Because I think that Betty's onto something when she says that she believes that they've misdirected their abuse at me and Hector. When really, the problems are internal. Inside herself and inside her own community.
Oh my God, dumb and
call your name out. And Hector rarely comes online because Hector's out there working. Apparently they say he's a roofer.
Which you and Dummy never do.
And
but
you
anyway.
just think to yourself, and I warned this fucking naive girl. Yeah, she's another dry bone. She doesn't seem to have food in the cupboard. Another famine victim. Yeah. Ashy as hell. She don't know what cocoa butter is either. Yeah. You just say, why are you in your 50s calling on another woman's husband? He's not calling on Naifa because the man is working. It's embarrassing. She's got an obsession with Hector. Yeah. And I'm not surprised Jupiter gets upset. Now, I'm not a friend of Jupiter, but I've got a level of respect for her and other human beings. If you treat me right, I'll treat you right. This time when Jupiter doxed me, I wasn't happy about it, but I've forgiven her. I've said things to her and done things to her. And she's forgiven me because we want to move on. We're grown women. We're not ringing each other, chilling with each other. So that's what, you know what I mean? And to come online to be just insulting each other, why would I bring the negativity? But this is what I see about Naifa and Lady D. They're jealous of how I treat Wendy and Jupiter. Because just again today, what did Finger say? Oh, I called that fucking skank Lady D out. I said, stop saying that we mock your son. We're not mock your son on that show. Yeah, she's a liar, that Lady D. Lie. Bum on fucking fire. Yeah. I don't skank. No wonder you were a gym slip mum. You can see why your son didn't survive with a mother like you, this gym slip mum. And they talk about Jupiter being a gym slip mum. But that Lady D is also a gym slip mum. You're not finished high school before
You
you
called
start giving birth to people.
this is what I'm saying.
So I
man.
don't know
You lot are
what
you lot were mental. Yeah. And the thing is, Gummy,
what
you know
kind
all
of
these anyway.
age she thinks is a gym slip mum. I got married at 18.
She called
and I
you
had
a gym
my
slip
first
mum,
child just
Gummy.
before my 19th birthday.
Yeah, you two are actually talking to each other at this point.
So I wasn't a gym slip. But I don't know if she means because I didn't go on to university. I don't know. But if she wants to say that that's a gym slip, but I always understood that to be somebody that's still in school or under the age of 16. I never had a child or anything like that before that age. Who are you, Colonel of Truth? I don't know who you are. Does anyone know Colonel of Truth?
Dark. So in
I
many
think
ways,
that
it's our
might
own fault
be,
anyway, Biggage, to be fair. But it
Twinkle.
won't happen again, bro.
And I'm not letting you up at the moment because I'm doing a review. So let me carry on.
Picking, yeah? Fucking hell. And then you want to start preaching. But just like, and the thing is that Melanated Goddess, me and Melanated Goddess, we're not even too, you know, we're not like big friends and stuff like that. But even Melanated Goddess got fed up of Naifa and fucking Lady D too. Because it's true. Oh, big up Patrick, she should be jailed. That Lady D, she got the mental health. You know, she got the mental, yeah? What she's doing, she's using the death of her child
not talking about mental
to
health.
be a bully and to emotionally blackmail and manipulate people online. And she's been doing it for fucking years. I don't know if that girl does a day's work. But a gym slip mum like her, I'd be surprised if she even have job, yeah? Listen, let them play it on the G block. Isn't it funny though? I'm not too sure why they're playing it on the G block because Veli just said to me that I can't reply. But this fucking Lady D was fucking interrupting me. So I don't know why they're playing it on the G block. But let's go back to this fucking fool, this Lady D gal, yeah? I've told this girl and I tell you straight, what I do on my fucking panel is my fucking business. And that's skank Lady D is not going to control my fucking panel. Yeah? What you need to do is go and fucking investigate who killed your fucking son. That's what you fucking need to do. Yeah? You don't need to be fucking investigating my fucking panel. Because I'm a grown woman. I run the fucking panel, not a fucking gym slut fucking psychotic bitch like you. And yeah, I know I'm 100% better than Lady D. Do you know what I mean? You sit there.
Right now, some people could say, vape not hate says the great ideological lie of diversity. Well, I think we have become a diverse country, but is it to our detriment? I don't know. You know, I think everybody's got a right to have their own opinion on that. But what I will say is that Lady Divine, yeah, goes around talking about Betty and how mental she is when she's shown that she does need some mental health herself. You know, she's not well. And in a way, it's understandable that she's not well. She's gone through a very, very deep trauma. But coming on here and taking it out on myself and my husband, you know, that's not the way to go about it. Because I don't know Lady Divine in the real world. I don't know her at all. I've never been in private conversations with her. I only disliked her off of the very first meeting of her where she was racist to my husband and racist to me. I didn't choose to be born white. My husband didn't choose to be born black. I agree, Kenny. Whereas I did, whether people want to admit it on here or not, I did look at myself and say, listen, I don't want to be doing this stuff. I don't want to be pulled into situations where I'm just calling people names and not saying what I mean because I'm hurt or I'm angry. And this is what these people kept doing to me. It's what the trolls do. I wasn't proud of myself. Hi, not Selena. Roblox 10. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Don't know what that name's about. If you're from PS2, please don't bother coming over here.
And years, and you're mocking my child. Yeah? Like I have to prove how many children I have to a fucking skank like you. You're asking, where's my child? But the question is, where is your fucking son, fool? You want to talk about where's my child? Where is your picking still? If you were a good mother, they wouldn't have murdered your son, would they? But obviously, you're Jim Slipmore. You probably not even finished high school. Yeah? You know, Jim Slipmore's like this fucking Lady D. You're not known for being great mothers, are you? Yeah? When you're supposed to be.
So, Betty's got a point here. We've all talked about whether Betty's got a child or not. And none of us know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you whether she has got a child or whether she hasn't got a child. Like a fool, I believed a lot of what these other people said about Betty because they were closer to her and they were nasty to her. Now, I'm not saying that everything that Betty says I agree with. I've got no horse in that game. But when she says that people talk about her private business and whether she's got a child, that's true. Now, we do know that Betty has come online with a recording. And we do know that Wendy Wu put out a picture of a child and claimed it was Betty's. But that wasn't Betty herself who put that picture out. And I've got no proof that that isn't Betty's child or is Betty's child. And to be honest, I don't really fucking care. Because what you get from a lot of other people is that it's only the white people on here that have done all this shit to do with kids and everything else. But it's not true though, is it? It's not true. Lady Divine has been very vocal in talking about other people's children. But yet her and Nynefa sit over there calling white people the scummy side. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of white men on here that have gone delving into people's lives. And white women, unfortunately. Going down Facebooks and everything else. Nobody's fooling anyone. I'm not defending anybody. What I am saying is what I believe is the truth from my own perspective. Ricochet. They're always talking about other people's children. They're just as scummy as the people they think they're calling out.
Be doing your fucking GCSEs and fucking O levels, you thinking of dick. That's what you're thinking, yeah? And another thing that I dislike about it is she probably thinks she's the only one that had a child die, yeah? Now this melanated goddess told her that you're looking mad crazy because this Jupiter is sitting there quietly. You and that fucking other psychotic bitch, fucking Naifa, are bullying her for more than an hour. You're insulting her. You're not even give the woman a chance to speak. Veli said no personals, but you for more than an hour, Veli allowed you to come and harangue Jupiter, which is not fair. But I'll give Veli the benefit of the doubt because man goes to the gym. He's actually working when he's running his show. So it's not easy to run a panel when you're trying to be driving a car and go to the gym and then you got to come on all the time and tell grown adults no personals and blah, blah, blah. But what they did yesterday was nothing but pure bullying, yeah? Now, another thing I've told those little fucking Jim Slip mums, fucking Naifa and whatever, and another thing is, this is the thing that I say that you ain't a fucking Nigerian, fam, yeah? You're not going to come and tell me, Reg, and Hector about our own fucking culture. You on the outside looking in, bitch. How the fuck You all the way in the fucking Caribbean or some fucking island gotta tell us about Nigerian culture. You experience Nigerian culture from the fucking outside. We are the fucking culture. 3 of us, Hector, me, and Resha, told them, you do not understand Nigerian culture. But that fucking lady go, oh, my ancestors come from Nigeria. Your ancestors never come from fucking Nigeria. Because when your ancestors got enslaved, there was no fucking Nigeria, you dumb fuck. But you're not going to understand that because you're Jim Slip mum, innit? Yeah, you have child in high school, innit? So you don't understand basic things like that. Your history and chronology, you don't understand that, innit? It's too much of a deep thought for you to understand. But the fact of the matter is, you've done nothing for Nigeria, yeah, and the culture of Nigeria. That Jupiter, whether me pun like a Jupiter or fucking not, she has brought Nigerian children into this world, yeah, and she's married a Nigerian. According to the Nigerian state, Jupiter can become a Nigerian and have Nigerian citizenship because she contributed to Nigeria. But your stupid Jim Slip fucking ass, yeah, Jim Slip mum, fucking famine victim. Why don't you find some food? You know the Caribbeans can cook. Why do both of them look like stick insects? Why do they look like famine victim? They don't know what cocoa butter is, yeah? But you want to talk, yeah? What part of that do you not understand? Naive is not with a Nigerian. She don't have no Nigerian children. That fucking lady did. You did not marry a Nigerian. You did not have any children with Nigerian. But then you want to fucking tell me how I should treat a woman like Jupiter that's married to a Nigerian. And the thing.
So, if I was to be like Nyanifa at this point, I'd be going, oh boy, yay, yeah, you hear that? See what I'm saying, bruvs? Levels, isn't it? You know, even her homies are calling her out. Because this is the kind of thing that Nyanifa does. And now she's going to feel a bit of her own pain. Because those words apply to her. You see, this woman done stream after stream after stream after stream. If I fall out with someone, if Moon says something, if fucking Base Luke says something, if Wendy says something, if fucking Dave says something, all doing streams, regurgitating. So I have every right to listen to what someone's got to say about them and just absorb it. Now, it doesn't mean I'm co-signing every word because I'm not like those bitches, you see. I'm not like Nyanifa and Lady Divine. I'm not co-signing everything. A lot of this ranting is what Betty thinks and Betty alone. It's only the substance that we're going to get to that I actually agree with Betty. The way Betty wants to express it, there's Betty's words. And Betty has every right to, because of the way they've treated her over the years, like they're better than her.
They complain for years. They've been complaining for years about Hector and Jupiter. Jupiter is not going to change. This woman is in her 50s. Neither is Hector.
So Mother India says, real world issues. An 8-year-old girl was found at the border with 69 different DNA traces inside her body. Oh my God. Hell is empty because all the devils are here. Well, I'm not a devil, but there are devils in the world. Yes, I agree. So I will put that comment up on the screen. Sad state of affairs, isn't it?
Some of the things that Hector is saying is down to Nigerian culture. But you, Lady D, and Naifa, you want to fucking talk on our culture and tell us how Nigerian culture is, even though you're not a fucking Nigerian. That you're not even married to a Nigerian like Jupiter, yeah? But you want to talk on a culture that you're not part of.
Listen to the lies, family.
You talk on something that you're not part of, yeah? You talk on that.
This is
Then another thing,
hilarious.
yeah? One thing I don't like is bullying. You see this Jupiter? She don't try and change, and Hector. They don't try and change. Yeah. Now Jupiter, they got off the sofa. You know, back in the day, Jupiter used to be on what you call it, the Lions Den for hours. Yeah, 12 hours. She's still locked in, but she's trying to change your ways. The son told her one time, around 3 o'clock in the morning, he said, "Mum, you're too noisy. You're making the neighbors complain. I've got to go to school in the morning." The son, George.
Actually, that did happen. That's what people said happened. What he actually came down and he said, "Finest wine. I know you're all adults, but do you all have to be screaming and shouting at each other?" It was during the Christmas period. And then he said to me, "I know you've been having a drink," which he did say, big up to my son, who's very mature for his age. And then he said, "This is all too much noise. Think of the neighbours." He was talking to both of us. And that was that. He didn't have school the next day because it was during the Christmas period. It was about 4 years ago, and it was in January.
She's lying on her son because he actually said, "I've got to get up in the morning."
He's an intelligent boy, but even though Hector, Jupiter likes to play like teenagers sometimes, they raise the children right. Yeah. So now Hector and Jupiter, last year they got off the sofa. They went to Greece. They said, "Let me go and do something. Let go and have a holiday." They don't want to do that internet beefing anymore. So me as a fair and just person, I have to acknowledge that change. I said, yeah, they're trying to stay out of this beef. Because years ago, I used to get into too much beef. Yeah, too much beef. In and out, arguing about shit, trying to prove shit to people that I don't know, I'm never going to meet. But I'm changing my ways. My brother-in-law just come and died, 54, of bowel cancer in November. Yeah. And I said that tomorrow is not promised. Yeah. Tomorrow is not promised. And then,
so we've got Betty here explaining that she's grieving. She's grieving. And therefore, this is probably leading to her emotional state as well with what's happened. And she's probably had a wake-up call and realised, that life is precious. I wish a lot of other people on here would understand that.
And this fucking lady did. She can't say that she an African. Yeah. An African. Oh, I'm 27% Sierra Leone. And I can't remember what I think she said 20-something% Nigerian, all this bullshit, whatever. Nobody is denying whether your ancestors came from Nigeria, Sierra Leone. We not give a fuck. But the fact of the matter is, them countries do not exist when your ancestors got fucking enslaved, yeah? Yeah. Now, and I don't know if whoever's trying to pretend to be Lady D, I don't know, and try and come on, but you're not fucking come on in there, because the very fact that when I try and talk, you want to talk over me.
Oh God!
You want to come on here and try and run my panel. Don't fucking stay over there.
Yo, but who's Jupiter saying that they're in pain? Who's in pain?
What I was trying to say. But the fact
I'm saying that
they do not
acknowledge the change in
Hector and Jupiter.
Mad.
And there's clearly a change because they went all the way to Greece. Even yesterday, they said that they're going to Nigeria. Years ago, we're not even to Nigeria. They said they're going to Nigeria. And I wish Jupiter and her husband well. Stay away from the armed robbers.
So what, people are changed because they went to Greece,
in Nigeria. Yeah? Have a nice time in Nigeria. Don't forget to come and bring back some dry fish for Betty. Yeah, and post it to me.
Take notes, family. Take
so
notes.
Funny. So yeah, me and Hector have been trying to avoid these arguments, but it's not because we went to Greece. But yeah, thank you, Betty. Thank you.
Yeah, because you know, it's not easy to get that nice Nigerian dry fish in England. But one of the things that Melanated Goddess and me are concerned about is Lady D's mental health. It is not productive for you to continue to argue and bully Jupiter over the death of your son. Yeah? And this Melanated Goddess tried to tell this girl.
Yeah, man. Big up blood clot Melanated Goddess.
You're hurting because your son is dead. Yeah? And Jupiter isn't responsible for that. Neither am I. Yeah? The people that are responsible are the people that did that. Yeah. But it doesn't give, just because your son died in tragic circumstances, it don't give you the right to bully and harangue and mock my child and fucking everybody else's and mock people like we fucking owe you something. Yeah. You see all that energy that you have for mocking my child and mocking Jupiter and everybody else. Yeah. You use that same energy for the people that murdered your son, innit, Lady D. But we know you're not going to do that, innit? We know you're not going to do that. You're not going to wind your neck in and go and find the murderers of your child, innit? Yeah.
Now, people might think it's crass that Betty said that, but I actually agree with her on this point. 5 years this woman's been online, being vitriolic, racist, spiteful, and everything else. And she has a much bigger real life issue that she should have been dealing with. And that does open her up for hypocrisy. For people to look at her and say she's a hypocrite, and for people to say,
yeah, big up, Nana. I saw you.
Really
I saw you. Big up the chats, man. Big up the chats.
She's not going to do that. But it's nothing but bullying. Now, another thing is this Naifa, yeah, clearly jealous of the way I pulled her up, yeah. She's just jealous of the way I treat Wendy and Jupiter. And I do agree with Jupiter in the sense of there are other people that have black and white unions.
Yo, listen to this, you know, because the truth is in all of this, you know. I'm jealous.
But this type of treatment was going back all the way to the Lion's Den, yeah. And they're all right. Definitely that fucking Nigerian criminal.
Yeah, they're talking to each other. This is hilarious.
To deal with his white wife. You know what I mean? Because his baby white mothers, he can't keep a white woman. That's like, so he's jealous of Hector because he keep this white woman for 20 years. Yeah.
Right now, I'm
listen to the finesse and the remix of this now, guys. Listen to mental health.
She's going to Jedi now. He's another scattershot.
That's Betty's opinion, you know, and she's entitled to have it, but that's not our opinion or my opinion. Just want to make that clear.
That's what's going on, yeah. But it is unfair how they've been treated. But I know certainly that Hector and Jupiter have taught me to be more accepting of black and white unions, and I thank them for that. Yeah, because I realize you can't pick people's partners. The only partner that you can pick is for yourself. Yeah, have Jupiter and Hector made mistakes? Of course they made mistakes, but that skank Lady D and fucking Naifa, they've just made as much bad mistakes themselves. Yeah.
So I would agree with that. The biggest mistake that I made on here is returning fire for fire with the racial insults. So when they called my husband a coon and called me, I can't remember if it was a white dog or white pig now. It's that long ago.
Lies.
I returned it with, you don't like that.
You're such a liar, my dog.
I said that was the reason
I swear down, man.
And
anyway.
That's because I couldn't believe the actual vitriolic racism.
Listen to this, people. The remix in session.
It was mental to me.
Boy.
Calling Hector a coon just because he had a white wife was actually
but
really,
it wasn't
detrimental. And then being racial to me on my skin tone was also detrimental.
You know it's mad, isn't it, Biggage? I'm telling you, bro.
I do think
you can't even talk the truth, man. It's crazy, man.
So, Kaylee, why don't you tell me what the biggest mistake was? Would it involve you, Kaylee? Do you think it's all about you? Because actually, I don't think any engagement that I've had with you was as detrimental as that to my reputation, to be fair. But you're free to believe what you like, Kaylee. You know. So, yeah. My own children have been put first, Kaylee. My own children are doing well. And
Kaylee
I don't think you're someone to be
that
coming here
definitely was
about
not your biggest mistake, Jupiter.
We don't want to get into that argument now, do we, Kaylee?
No, because that's another person that you're in trouble with. But you're out here doing your little angelic acts.
So you're going to put a video up on Gang this evening? Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. So I talked to everybody, Den Terrigan. So Den Terrigan says you do seem to be drawn to wrong ones. Well, I talk to everybody, and I talk to people at the bottom as well as people at the top. I think that's stop trying to threaten people, Kaylee, for God's sake. I'm not going to regret anything. Behave yourself. Go away.
Oh, yes, you will. You just don't know it yet.
Christ. Trying to make it all about you. In fact, Kaylee, because you only want to make it about you, you might as well go away and say it on your own channel. Go on, off you go.
Or someone tell Kaylee to come over here.
Do I seem to be drawn to wrong ones? No, I talk to everybody from the bottom to the top, and I think everybody's got an opinion. Whether their opinions are valid or not is a different matter. But I do think that everybody's got an opinion, and I do kind of tolerate it to a very high level. Yeah. Doesn't mean I agree or co-sign with all these people, Den. There's loads of channels that I've seen you sit on with wrong ones. Doesn't mean you co-sign it, does it?
And another thing, you see that Naifa, she's jealous. She keeps, I don't know how many times she keeps mentioning it. Well, Betty, do you remember all the emails you sent me about Jupiter?
That's a lie. Yo, why you lying?
Bitch, did you ever reply? Not one day did that Naifa reply. That's why I don't consider her a friend.
You're such a liar.
I just consider her an associate. She not have enough respect to reply to any of my emails.
That's what it is, because I've
got Jupiter's email address.
That's the truth.
If I send Jupiter to this day, if I send her an email, she's going to reply.
And she's talking about
when I used to win,
mental health, she said?
Fucking hell. That is why I respect Wendy and Jupiter more than I respect Naifa. Because Naifa's a snake in the grass. She don't talk about loyalty and friendship. And she think because we're both black, we can owe her something. But if you want to ride with Betty, if I send you a fucking email, bitch,
family?
you better
She
fucking
just said I don't
that
email her back.
to let me know.
This is pathetic, family.
Yo, you take a pill to listen to this one.
Got out of bed alone. Morning raindrop hits my window.
Saying that, Hector is dreaming about
Dear
me.
Stan.
Bitch, please, is you dreaming about Hector? Your nose is out of joint because you're a black nationalist. You don't want black men with fucking white women, and you're pissed off because Hector did 20 years.
This guy is sick. When I say he's sick,
they are sick. Yeah, you're clearly not married. Because if you were married, Naifa, your husband wouldn't allow you to be online begging a next woman's husband for fucking attention. Do you know how pathetic it looks?
Remember now,
I'm more beautiful.
Oh, your bad mind. Your bad mind.
Remember now, we have
you should have replied back to her.
Hold on, guys. Remember, we have been single mothers for the last 5 years. Remember this, you know. Remember this.
So again, I agree with everything that Betty's just said there. You know, Naifa wouldn't be allowed to do all this stuff online if she actually has someone in her life. So.
But you can be online all day, though, yeah.
With you because you're fair, you're fooling yourself. That's like expecting the lion not to eat you because you didn't eat him. I agree with you, Vape No Hate, and that's why I feel legitimized in doing this stream.
What do you agree with? What she said, you expect the world to be fair with you because you're fooling yourself. That's like expecting the lion not to eat you because.
Someone in their 50s start to have a beauty contest. Do you know any beauty contests that are going for people in their 50s? This beauty contest thing is a young woman's game, isn't it? It's not someone in your middle age woman
now.
Like you. Just have some fucking
where they always go to our looks. Where they always go.
Yeah, no, of course I have a right to defend Nigerian culture. And ladies, they're not fucking Nigerians. They've not done anything for Nigeria. They've done nothing for Nigeria. Who are they to tell us about the fucking culture when you're on the outside looking in? I'm not fucking sitting there saying, because my ancestors were slaves on Barbados, I know about Bayesian culture.
Didn't she say last week that she's not dating Nigerian men anymore?
Culture. I'm an outsider.
This woman's a mess, man.
Nobody fucking wants her. Hi, girls.
All right,
the region of Nigeria.
We're just having a listening woman.
And their opinions should be respected.
Hiya.
Nah, man. You on the outside looking in, sweetheart. Yeah? And the worst thing is, we all can't be wrong. When Reg told you don't understand Nigerian culture, and Hector, 3 Nigerians have told them you don't understand our culture, but you still want to fucking claim that we're in the wrong. Do you know what I mean? The arrogance of you as a fucking outsider to think you can talk and know about Nigerian culture, even though you're not married to a Nigerian and you don't fucking have any Nigerian children. The arrogance of it. So, of course, I'm going to G-check you and tell you to stay in your fucking lane, fool. Yeah? I'm sick of it.
Who the fuck does this fucking cunt think she is?
Naiva and Lady D.
Highlight Banana's point, sis. Highlight Banana's comment.
It's quite obvious.
That's a fat banana.
That's some type of fucking lesbian fucking affair.
What did Banana
that's
say?
That's the only fucking partner you to have. That's your wing woman, isn't it? Yeah? But the fact of the matter is, all this type of bullying and a lack of respect, fam. You not have to ask a fucking Jamaican. Them two are Jamaicans. The fuck ask a Jamaican to talk on Nigerian culture? Who the fuck are you?
Here's her real issue, guys. This is her real issue.
It's amazing.
Us being Caribbeans speaking on Nigeria. That's her real issue. Here's the crux of the problem.
Fucking who did she say that was a coon as well? Reg, she's a coon. Very offensive. Racial epithets. This Naifa, she says she claimed to have 2 degrees, masters and bachelors, but the only vocabulary she seems to be able to use is racial epithets.
You see, now what you're hearing here is somebody from the black community actually saying, yeah, we don't like it. We don't like the racism that comes off of these 2 women. And just because Jupiter's white, she's not lying. You do shout racism all over the place.
That's not what I heard. I heard Betty was trying to give information on you.
Yeah, but she's using racial epithets that was there to dehumanize black people. Yeah, the irony of what she's saying. Would you say they're trying to use rich Nigerian culture? Yeah, I would say that. I would say that.
No, of course you would. Stupid
Lady
cunt.
D looked washed up. Yeah, she looked like famine victim. That's what Lady D looked like. If you go and see the picture of Lady D, she looked like famine victim. She don't eat. Neither does Naifa. They don't eat. Like that Raxpes, they don't eat. Even though, you know, the Jamaicans, they can cook. They don't have food in their cupboard. Because they're always on
this.
Oh, shut up.
Listen to this.
I mean, who the fuck is Jupiter to beg for fucking approval?
But it's me, Lady D. She's just jealous of you. I saw a picture of you yesterday, and you are very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't fucking listen to this old hag.
I'm not the only one that's G-checked them on Nigerian culture. I remember when that fucking Nigerian criminal class, Jediah and Maku, they G-checked them on Nigerian culture too.
This is all lies,
because
people.
You cannot be on the outside of a culture looking in and feel like.
But these are just the ramblings of someone that's hurt. So let's just listen to the pain and then we'll correct
very disrespectful.
It,
and for the record, Jediah Maku has never flipping crept up on nothing. In fact, they welcome us, so they can fuck off. She's an idiot.
But you're not all about Nigerian culture. Isn't that amazing still? Then another thing that pissed me off, which was really annoying, was the female circumcision. Yeah, and this is like, and lady, we had this debate.
Oh, the real problem.
About female circumcision. So obviously they're Caribbean, isn't it? So they don't do circumcision for females and males because obviously most of their ancestors were enslaved Africans. They weren't allowed to carry their traditions. Yeah, you hang around with white folk for like 400 years, isn't it? But the tradition of female circumcision and male circumcision is thousands of years old in Africa, all the way back to ancient Egypt. Them as Western Africans, they are trying to break that tradition. They say, Lady D, she should come on.
Remember this?
Me not like it. Me not like it. Oh no. Yeah. Oh no, for people who don't know, speedboat for you. That's what they put in the Caribbean. I think it means the same thing.
She is sick in her head. I'm
Watching
telling
here
you.
tonight.
She's sick.
Slaves
She's
in
actually gone.
Jamaica. So you're
What a carry on.
yeah. But this tradition,
She's
female
unfucking
tradition,
believable, this
you want
woman.
to break a tradition that is going back 5,000 years old. Could you imagine the arrogance of it? Yeah, the arrogance of it. And then they say, oh, there's a support for breaking the tradition in Africa. But the people that are supporting getting rid of female circumcision are Western back NGOs. That's who it's coming from. The West. Yeah? American NGOs, British NGOs. They're sitting there worried about the vagina of little black girls, which is just creepy as it is, because there's no Africans that are worried about what they're doing with the transgenders and the children. Yeah, but you as a white man in America, Congress, in Britain, Parliament, you're worried about the vagina of little black girls. Very creepy to tell you on the
This woman
truth.
is sick.
But
she is sick.
So all this to do with FGM.
She's far gone, Brad. She's too far gone.
Letting Betty talk. It's not the time to debate in that. I'll debate that with Betty on another day, because I can do it in a more social way than these people screaming abuse at each other.
Okay, so hang on a minute.
You know what I
Can
mean?
people
So,
confirm
Jordan
to me
and
that
Jordan
Jupiter is
came on
still going to
and
mix
said,
with
you
Betty
West
after
man.
all the
No,
Oh,
you
they
don't
will.
need
They
to
always
deny
have
said,
done
that.
that.
yeah?
They always have.
We're
Fuck.
not Western.
I'm done.
We're African. We're African first.
She'll find
African
herself
listeners.
with
Blah,
nobody
blah, blah.
but
Like anyone needs
wrongings.
to be reminded.
Well,
that
yeah, I already
Africans,
have, but you
you know what I
know,
mean? You only have to look at the face
can't
to know
believe
that
it.
African descent. Why they have to keep on reiterating it? I don't fucking know, unless you're blind. You know the ancestors came from Africa. But yeah, so they go, oh, we're African. Yeah. Now, in fact, let me bring up the article and I'll show you how they're backed by Western female circumcision.
Betty's going to be Jupiter's new duo.
Yeah, in the
We
West.
were a duo before, but then they fell out.
An article,
and we'll bring the evidence for that a bit later.
I think it was in the Guardian, and there was a bunch of Kenyan women complaining about how they don't want any white men.
Right, now this is Betty's views. Yeah, okay. I'm just leaving everything running so that everything's in context.
This is her trying to separate us of
condoning
people,
everything
but
that
it's
Betty
too
says.
late.
Trust
It's
me,
too
that's
late.
another one under the bus, boy.
But these are her opinions on FGM. So
Yeah, but
she's
she's openly,
she's an African. She's talking
you know,
about
supported Betty earlier.
You know,
so she can't distance herself from her now.
I'm just going to allow that to
Fuck
go.
off.
I'm only interested in the stuff that's being said about Lady Divine because of what Lady Divine did to me on Venice when she said I was lying when I was actually telling the truth.
You were lying, man.
What you call it? White American men.
And when he said you were lying, so what? You're trying to use.
Yeah.
Oh,
so don't want any white American men coming to tell them.
No.
Oh, what?
The reason
Jupiter's
why
never said somebody else was lying when they weren't.
Funding
Fuck
the
off.
female circumcision movement, you know, the anti-female circumcision. So it was quite ironic how when Jordan pointed out that you're quite Western and you're going against the culture that you've come from, yeah. Oh, how dare you as a white man? How dare you say that?
Lies.
How dare you say that as a white English Muslim? How dare you say that?
Englishman.
But the fact of the matter is, Jordan was right.
Jordan, of course.
The funding of the anti-female circumcision is coming from white Westerners. Yeah.
Fuck is
so yeah, you are backing a white Western movement. Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is your new ally.
Without that funding, that tradition would continue. Yeah.
Oh, Jupiter and Betty kissing in the tree. Oh dear. You got a new friend now.
Circumcision to end. Let's have a look.
Here's a little simp. What's that mean?
It's almost like quite. It's quite fetchy. Do you know what I mean? Because there's big.
She does come back on point, so bear with it, people.
support for female circumcision in Africa. Yeah. And like, can you imagine trying to break a tradition that is thousands of years old? And the funny thing about it is, you're not even in fucking Africa. Your children not even get circumcised, but you fucking worried about it. Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, stupid
That's
cunt.
it. That's how I find that. And there's a lot of propaganda about this female circumcision as well. Where they go, oh, you won't be able to orgasm and all this shit. Well, you probably won't be able to have a clitoris orgasm, but you can still have a G-spot orgasm. So this is another thing that I don't like, the lies. And yeah, Lady D and Naifa, you are part of the Western agenda to get rid of female circumcision. And you're going to do it with lies. That's what you're doing at end of, yeah? Because it's not fucking true. You can't cut off the clitoris because the clitoris extends right into the vagina canal and ends at the G-spot, yeah? But, you know, that's how a lot of Western...
What?
Can't fucking... She's fucking mad. She's off her head.
Betty said she had pum issues and that to back in the batty. I don't take her seriously. Well, you know, that's a bit personal. And I don't know about that.
Fuck.
This is your ally. This is
she's so funny. Like,
just press play on me, man.
They spend a lot of time trying to culturally change Africans, but they don't like it when Africans come and try and change their culture. Do you know what I mean? Oh, let me just think. Culture vultures. Yeah, I think it's actually really sad that, you know, you don't want to respect the culture
really
that you're encountering.
You
know what I mean?
No,
I couldn't imagine being an authority, claiming to be an authority. I understand.
Wait, what did she say?
She is. She's fucking mad.
She had pom issues and has the fuck in the batty. I don't take her serious.
I think they should be able to
say that.
Oh, Nigerian, this Nigerian. And what's really funny is I've done, like, for example, Hector. I can't find the article, but I'll find it later.
Mad.
Yeah, but I remember, like Hector said, this is how all the trouble started. Hector said on the not the G-Block, Lion said years and years and years ago about like slavery being just business. And what he's saying is true. You know, human trafficking is a multi-billion-pound business. You know what I mean? To this day, slavery is still rampant, and it was just business. And Naifa, she don't start crying. I'll start crying. Lady, I'll start crying. Fucking, what's his name? Fucking, a family victim, a respect, start crying. Yeah. But that's what my mum would have said. Yeah, it's just business. Because that's how Nigerians are. Nigerian people are not known for their sensitivity, you know, tiptoeing over people and their feelings. Yeah. But and that is just a trait of Nigerian culture. But once again, they don't understand. Yeah. You know, Nigerian people, we're not Caribbeans, and you people are a little bit more sensitive in how you.
And this is something I've tried to point out to them for a while. That Hector was raised in Nigeria, and they're very blunt and direct with the way that they speak. Probably why me and Hector get on, actually, is one of the reasons. They are very blunt and direct in the way that they speak. And he was only giving in his opinion. But here you have her validating what I've been saying all the way along. That is what caused the problem. It's nothing to do with
That's a lie. Oh, you're such a liar, man.
They went for my children. I said to them, "You really going to go this way?"
Here we go again that we've attacked her children. Here she goes again with the lies. We've apparently attacked her children. Okay, come on, let's go.
You speak, yeah, because you people descend from slaves, yeah. A lot of us people in Nigeria don't. You know what I mean? We're indigenous to Nigeria. Do you know what I mean? So it's a different perspective, isn't it? But the fact of the matter, so we're not that hung up on the word slavery and slaves. When those returnees...
Yes, Kermit, no neither will accept any racist, even against herself, as long as they hate me. She'll accept anyone. I think she'd have a mass murderer and a rapist sitting beside her, as long as they hate
Oh
me.
my God.
Nigeria, they were told that you better get into the culture, and we don't want to hear about you.
Right, Esau, change that name, please. Just change the name and you can come up. Right.
Okay, girls, I'm going to go back in the chat.
I don't care.
Thanks for letting me on,
all right,
Lady
the day,
D,
I'm glad
and
that she's hearing
big up,
it.
all right, take care,
everybody
honeys.
collect your evidence. Everybody collect your evidence.
Because I'm not being vitriolic like them.
Yep, totally
I'm not going to
agree.
start screaming and shouting like them. I'm just playing Betty and backing Betty up where I think she's right. When it comes to stuff that I might not agree with or anything else, I'm making it quite clear that their personal opinions are Betty's, which she's entitled to have, by the way, because Nyneetha and Lady Divine are not the only ones who are permitted an opinion. Everyone's got one. And it's about time they understood that. They're not in charge of anybody. They don't represent all black people. You know, they represent themselves. Actually, they're very, very detrimental to a lot of things.
Oh yeah, and that little weirdo in the chat, Rick, is literally going between stream stirring, just so you're aware.
Ricochet says what he wants.
Not Ricochet, that flipping Tarragon freak, the 7-year-old kitty sniffer. He's actually stirring trouble right now between chats.
Well, I don't know why Dan Tarragon's doing that. If you're doing that, then you're just being a bit two-faced, but that's up to him. Again, he's entitled to do what he wants to do, as long as he understands that it will all come back on him if that's proven, you know. I mean, is he in support?
Why is he doing a stream on Gang? He wasn't even around when Gang's so dead. You were not about. They're like dead 4 or 5 years. They weren't. I don't understand what he would understand about Gang.
I don't know. We'll have to wait for him to do a stream to see what his opinions are, and then we can say whether it's right or wrong. I'm not going to preempt anything, and I believe everyone's got an opinion, no matter how retarded, no matter how educated. Everyone's got an opinion. I will listen.
So why does our opinions on you hurt you this much? So why does our opinions on her hurt her this much?
And this is all it is, people's opinions.
Listen
it
to
doesn't
the
mean
fucking
that people are correct, and it doesn't mean that people are fucking wrong. Sometimes it does, you know, but it doesn't mean that you have to go and follow it just because someone says it, you know. All I do on my show is give opinions. And while we're on the subject, stop telling people to go and die, okay, on my shows. Death threats are no over here. Please.
That was not a death threat. I don't know. I'm being serious here. That bitch gets my nerves.
Since when has she had any rules over there? Since when?
It's not even about her. No one gives a fuck if she can't comment. Just piss off, man. I don't really care what she does herself. That's just how I feel about it.
Well, she's been blocked for now anyway, so expect her to
that's the end of free speech over there, boy.
You see, and this is
lies. He's lying.
Well, listen. I'm more interested in what people actually say with their own voice on the right side. I'd rather wait until he does his review, and then we can whatever, you know. Because it's easy for people to claim people, and it's easy for people to say things. I'm only going what I hear with my own ears or see with my own eyes. What else?
Just a fucking walking contradictions. Though.
Yeah, I agree, Blacklist. Yeah, you know. So Ichabod said, then while you're here, he's got a question for you. She has. I can't remember if it's a man or a woman now. I get so confused with Ichabod because I keep forgetting. I think it's a man. So then, I've asked this multiple times now, but I'll try again. What do you think about Taffy calling Danny Roscoe a grifter and a cunt? I don't believe Danny is either. So I'll just put that up on the screen so you know that was a comment written by Ichabod genuinely. asking you a question. So maybe you would like to answer that in the side chat. You know. So let's go back. So Den says, I've been here since it near started. Yeah, it's fine anyway, Den. You're entitled to write whatever you want to write. You know, it's only what comes out your mouth that I'll listen to. You know. That I'll make comment on. I'm not really interested in the evidence, Den. But Esau, if you've got evidence of that, could you give it to Den, please?
I'm not wasting my time with that dickhead. He knows exactly what he's going in the chats and saying. But if we don't believe in Droopy, you could just rewind back Nigel's stream when she finishes it, and you can see his comments. He's a shit stirring cunt, him and Bleachy. They've been going around all the chat, even not in your chat, in Taffy's chat as well. They go all around. And the reason I'm doing this to that little bastard, I don't care about him, Droopy, but the man literally makes everything about him. It's just like, no one gives a fuck about your opinion. He's now got an opinion on Gang. Fuck Gang. They're so dead, it's not even funny.
Anyone
that
know
was
about
so
one flew over
Where have you been?
Nest and them thing there?
Exactly my point.
This must be what it's like to sit in one of them.
Okay, well you can do that on Mad as a Box of Frogs. You can review him and do it there, can't you?
Review him. His nose is a full of shit. Like, I don't have to review anything. I'm telling you what you said. He can not only once, but we know what he is. He's like Dogler.
I would agree. You have an opinion on him, and you're entitled to have an opinion. But right now, I'm doing a review, and it's not about Den. I don't mean to be horrible, but I don't want to divert to other
Agreed. People. That's why I don't want to prick to. I'm just letting you know that he's shit stirring in between chats, and I don't know why he's doing that. It's like he's here pretending, but then he's going over there going, she's saying that, and it's like, oh, fuck off, man. You and your little bitch, just go away. Seriously. No one cares about you. No one cares about
he's crying again. He's crying.
You find it hard to just, fathom that. It's quite sad.
No, you mean you don't care about him? I'm sure
no one cares about
get on with him.
No one cares about it. We don't care what his opinion is. No one cares what his opinion is. When he goes live, 2-3 people have a watch. If that, he might even get one. Do you know what I mean? No one gives a shit.
Okay, but you're diverting it to Den, and I don't want to do that right now. Okay? You know, if you want a discussion about Den, you can do that on your own, and people who want to join in can come over there and discuss Den. Right now, I'm talking about the allegations that were made against me by Lady Divine that were not true, right? They were not true, yet she tried to justify her behaviour.
Yes, they were true. And just because you feel a couple of the girls come
then you and Esau can sort it out on your show. Do a
You're not getting away with it, dummy.
Let's take a topic, please.
There's no finessing around here, but
do it over on your own thing. So let me get back to playing this.
Wiping the white man's ass for like 400 years. Yeah. And there were protests when those returnee slaves came to Nigeria, disputes when they got boycotted. Yeah. So a lot of people like me prior to my ancestry test didn't know that some of my ancestors were slaves, because it clearly states in the colonial records that those returnee slaves that came to the region we call Nigeria, there was some type of boycott and protest by the indigenous population of saying that we don't like the way these slaves are trying to change our culture and change our traditions. So they were told to get nationalistic. That's one of the reasons why the 15,000 slaves from America who came to Africa in the 1800s, many of their descendants don't know that their ancestors were slaves, because they had to indigenize, yeah? And that's the mentality of Nigerians, that we don't care about slavery. Yeah, we know slavery existed, we know what white people have done, we know about colonization, but it's not an excuse to Nigerian culture to not achieve. But with Caribbeans,
that's
it isn't
the fact.
An excuse.
That's the fact, Banana. Nail on the head.
Excuse.
I'm glad you're observant, Banana. I'm glad you're very observant.
Culture, you can't do that. No one gives a fuck about your ancestors being slaves. The way they see it is your ancestors are dead, but you're alive. Make the most of what you've got. Yeah.
And she's quite right there. White supremacy isn't a thing in Nigeria. They don't bang on about it like people do over here. She is quite right there.
It's because it was just business.
Would the Caribbean?
There's 3 retarded people on that panel. How could there be white supremacists?
I'm going to ask you to leave
Nigeria?
until I finish my review.
You lot are dumb, brums. You're all dumb. You lot all suit each other.
Because I don't understand what you're doing.
It was just business, but we can't, like, I mean, that's just her opinion, but it's your opinion too. I just don't agree with all the time. But sorry, obviously, on me.
Because they're coming from this Rasta thing, aren't they? Like, you know, this, you know, the Rastas are very into the idea of reparations and talking about slavery and, you know, waiting on that 40 acres and a mule. But it's not the same in Nigeria. Do you know what I mean? Nigerian culture. Simply because those people are indigenous. You know, a lot of Nigerian people's ancestors have been in Nigeria for hundreds of years. The white man didn't move them to Nigeria. Their ancestors moved to Nigeria. But you people that descend from slaves, your ancestors wouldn't have gone to that place if the white man didn't put you there. That's why you're hung up on the word slavery. But it's different from the majority of my ancestors, yeah? They moved to Nigeria through their own fucking will, yeah? So no, I'm not going to blame the fucking white man. You know what I mean? No, my ancestors just walked from Cameroon, Sudan, fucking Singapore, just to come and sit there in Nigeria. It's a different experience and a different point of view, but you just don't respect the culture that you're experiencing. And this, especially this female circumcision, no, I don't believe in circumcising females. I'm neutral on it, but I know when I speak to my mum, and one day I'll probably record my mum, and so we'll and maybe some of my mum's friends, so you can hear how Nigerian women who are born and raised in Nigeria think of it. But one of the things my mum said was, you know, these white people, they don't like a female circumcision, you know? And this is it. My mum's quite neutral on it. My grandma, my paternal grandma, which is my dad's mum, believed in circumcision. My aunt is a circumcised. But my mum's side of the family, they don't believe in circumcision. They're kind of neutral on it, yeah? But one of the things that was really hard on the G block, because the G block is not that regulated, yeah. Some of the points about female circumcision cannot be said because of the argument and the unruliness of it, you know. But like a lot of these people that are doing female circumcision, they're getting paid. It's their job. Do you know what I mean? So this idea that you as a black Westerner are going to ride into Africa and outrule it, what finance and what job are they're going to do if they don't do female circumcision? And I noticed that on the G-block, they didn't mention that.
Who said they're going to Africa to do
they
anything?
think that people are
When you're listening to mad people, just take it in.
For no money.
Take it
Do
all
you know what I
in.
mean? You know, the irony of it.
They don't even make
really.
no fucking
And
sense.
it's things like that it's not spoken about. Do you know what I mean? And it's unfortunate that it's not spoken about, because you've got all these backup dancers, you know, like Scientific Method, you know, that Asian guy. He's such a fucking Negro for that guy. Fucking, oh my God, he's just like fucking white man's fucking busboy, and it's like the white man's slave. It's like, and he's like the god of science. Anyone says anything bad about science, like he's like, you know, whatever you do, don't attack Western secularism. It brought everything to the world. And if you mention that white Westerners used to say that black people were 2/5 of a human being, he goes, oh no, they were stupid, those scientists. But you had scientific racism, didn't you? Yeah, so he's just things like that. But he's just like, but that, and he's another guy that's always screaming like that. You would think he was on a male period. But in terms of Lady D and Aifa, like Lady D's not going to use the death of her son for clout. That's what she does. She spent years using the death of her son for clout.
Oh wow! Have I now? Have I now?
And try and slander them and stuff like that. But you're not going to do that with me, because I'm a grown woman and I don't give a fuck, Lady D. You mock my child, I'm going to fucking mock your children. You know what I mean? You know, if you don't like it, you need to shut the fuck up about my child and stop. And, you know,
that will never
happen,
Betty. Never will that happen,
she started
Betty.
talking about what was said on my panel and bringing me into it. And the worst thing is she's actually lying on Jupiter.
No, she's not.
Jupiter did not mock her child.
See,
it was just a question. We were just
swear
talking
down,
about her
Betty,
child
anyway.
and what happened.
Because we were
But it
walking
wasn't a mock. And I think Wendy's
man.
actually got a recording of that. Because you know Wendy fucking records everything. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure I remember Wendy actually recorded that. But that channel, I think it was Betty's Closet. I deleted that channel years ago, so I can't put the recording. I've got some old recordings, but I don't think it's that.
So Betty's actually 100% right there. I wasn't slacking off the child. It was Betty that brought up her child. I didn't
That's a lie.
They seem to think that I've watched every single episode again. I didn't.
Man.
Most of my judgments were based on what I saw in the park. Not on what they did on the G-Walks. I didn't bother watching all that. It wasn't really my thing. Because I didn't think that gang was inclusive. Those were my opinions.
This woman can't swear down.
I still think that it wasn't inclusive. Although I did have a talk with Jedi in the park myself, 1-to-1, and I kind of understood where he was coming from at the time. I kind of understood it towards the end. But unlike a lot of other people here who talk a lot of shit, I actually went down there and spoke to him about it. South Yorkshire Police confirm Rotherham professional Catherine Kelwick has been charged with fraud by an abusive position. She will appear at Sheffield Crown Court on September the 23rd, 2024. Interesting. So, KRS says respect was torn between Islam and black nationalist movement. Islam come first and Jedi became distant from respect. Yeah, to a point.
She uses him as a shield.
Yeah. So anyway, Betty is correct. I didn't slag off her child. It was news to me.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Lady Divine trying to use that as an excuse for all her racism towards me and my husband when it all occurred on Respects before the live stream.
Listen to the finessing family, yeah?
About.
Remember, I saw about the narrative.
A nonsense because she's mixing up the timelines on purpose. That's the first thing. The second thing is, okay, that Wendy has got a recording of it. Because at the time, me and Wendy were talking, and I was going on her. She invited me over to her stream, and because that had been the after effect of what had happened on Betty's. Because in the email that Betty sent me, so this is the timeline of events. We went on to Respects because they said I didn't have a Nigerian husband. They said, could I bring my Nigerian husband on? He came onto the show. He gave his opinion from a Nigerian perspective on slavery. They didn't like it because it backed up Westerners, basically, because he spoke about Islam and the Islamic slavery. And he said it wasn't racism from the West. It was opportunist and just business. That's why they go around saying it's just business the way they do. Right? That's what he said. That's what they got upset about. And but even before he said that, they'd already been abusive to him. But the first
Banana,
thing that
email
came
it,
out
Banana, because this is ongoing. So believe, you know what I mean. Just email it.
When I first heard that, I thought that these people were so insular that they didn't know anybody that was with white women. Only to my amazement to find out later on that actually there's a lot of black men on here with white women. So I don't know why they singled me out. I think it might have been the marriage. I don't know what it was, or the fact that he's Nigerian and not Jamaican. I have said there's a Jamaican-Nigerian divide on here. I do believe that that's strong. I really do believe that that's true. Scattershot. And I also believe that that's one of the problems that we've got in the UK, where we have so many people from different nations that come to live here and become our citizens, British citizens, but they still bring their own acrimonious opinions of each other onto our streets. We're seeing it right now with the Palestinian and Israeli conflict. You know, we've seen it with the Shia-Sunni conflict. We've seen it with the Greeks and the Turks. We've seen it with the Sikhs and the Turks. You know, you see, so this has happened on our streets. things that we wouldn't have ordinarily have had in the past is now something of the modern age. But anyway, I do diverse. At the time, when I got sent the email, straight after that stream, Betty sent me an email. She said, I see what happened on Raspects. I think it was disgusting what happened. Wendy asked me to send you an email to ask you if you would come onto my panel to discuss it. And when I went on there, Wendy was there as well. Okay.
Listen to all the emails that they've been sending behind all these years, you know, people. Now, listen to how many emails have been sent all these years. Listen to this.
Someone said in chat the other day that it was Buddha that went and told Lady Divine that I was slagging off her child. It wasn't true, but if Buddha did do that, then he shit stirred. Okay. But I don't know if that's true or someone just trying to lay it on Buddha. I don't know the truth of that. All I know is that after that stream went out, Lady Divine started mouthing off about me. She started mouthing off about Betty, and she started mouthing off about Wendy. But then now that she's friends with Wendy, she's decided to drop Wendy out and just lay it all at my feet. And hello, Ultra. So at the end of the day, I hadn't slagged her off. I hadn't slagged her son off at all. Now, from my recollection, and it is a long time ago, Lady D sat on Raspects and gave the impression that she was against knife crime because she'd lost her child to a knife crime. Okay? And that's why I got confused when later on she was screaming and hollering on another channel saying, my child never got stabbed up. Obviously, it becomes clearer when you understand that actually he got shot.
Gummy,
so it was her ambiguity and my assumption.
Oh, big
but
yeah.
She allowed us to be led into that assumption.
She allowed us to be led into that.
She was talking. The whole stream was about knife crime, and she was talking about another child. But she didn't give the details. She didn't give his name. She didn't sort of like say that she was still looking for justice for him. She didn't say that the murderers were still on the loose. You know. So a lot of it was all up in the air. So years later, after having 5 years of this woman's abuse, I honestly did believe that she was another fantasist who just said that on Raspects because
Of course I'm a fantasist. I mean, of course I would lie about something like that. That's what I do regularly, apparently.
She never really spoke about it much again. And I began to think, oh, it was all a big lie, just to fucking, like a lot of other people.
You see how she's contradicting herself.
So 1 minute is that I use my child for guilt all these years, and the next minute is that I don't speak about him. So which one is it? Which one really is it?
In peace, you know, and I publicly proclaim that actually it does turn out to be true, and her child did get shot. But Wendy Woo's actually got a recording of that stream because after Lady Divine kicked off after Betty's stream, I didn't even know that Lady Divine kicked off. Wendy actually recorded it, and then Wendy did the stream and asked me about my feelings about it. And I said, well, I don't know why she's blaming me. I didn't even say anything. I didn't even know anything. So Wendy has got a stream of it because Wendy ripped it up as well. But Lady Divine and that, they won't point that out. You know, they won't point that out. They won't be truthful. And of course, Wendy won't come forward with the recording because she's now fell out with me, which is what people do on here. They gameplay. They don't stick by the truth as the truth is. And even now, Wendy is trying to gameplay because every time I go onto Vellies and this, look, my situation with Lady Divine, the way I see it, doesn't involve anybody else. If other people want to get themselves
somehow you're using Betty right now. Like, this is hilarious.
They might have an opinion on it, which everybody's entitled to do. But I'm not going to sort of like say that
junkyard,
this is
seriously, you can't never be taken seriously ever
Wendy's fault or Betty's fault. No, I'm talking about just Lady Divine and what she's done and said about me and mine that has led to this situation. That's what I'm talking about. Whether other people whipped her up in the background, that's up to them. That's her problem, not mine. You know? But the truth is that Wendy will still keep coming on, going, I think you need to apologise, you need to apologise. Well, I'm sorry that I don't believe that. I would apologise for not believing that I need to apologise. But that's my stance.
Ain't this what she did with Moon, guys? Remember, she did the exact same thing with Moon, but it ain't going to work with me.
Their racism and the derogatory things they said about my children. Where is Wendy's apologies for all what she's done? With all the filth and lies that she's been spreading all over the place. Wendy is the least able person on here to be able to tell me who I should and shouldn't apologise to. You know, everybody likes to go on about Esau and how Esau's a faceless troll. Well, so's Wendy. Exactly, Victoria. So Victoria says, opinions are only from me. Never will I put my nose in someone else's business, no matter where I am. There's too many busybodies in here. Yeah, there are. Yeah, Wendy's not sorry, so why should she apologise? Yeah, and I don't demand it either, then. If people are genuine, they will come and apologise themselves. And there's only 2 people on here that have done it. And this is why I give Esau one little bit of respect. Esau and Jedi have both apologised to Hector. Off of their own back without it being demanded. So.
But because I don't have the recording of it, I can't prove that. But I'm sure Wendy can. Because I'm sure Wendy recorded it. And Wendy tends to record things on my show if she's on the panel, which is fair enough. If she's on the panel, she can record it, stuff like that. But you're not going to use the death of your son for clout. It's disgusting, especially when you're mocking my child and you mock other people's child. Do you know what I mean? You're a lying little skank, fam. You're a little fuck, and you're a bully as well. I mean, this girl said she's going to ride out to Manchester to sort me out. You know what? I'm packing like I put on quite a lot of weight. You know what I mean? And I'm knocking 5'9". I'm not some small thing, I'm not like Lady D, like looking at.
I apologise, Den. Yeah, I did forget about you. Also, Den Terrigan did. I'll give him credit where credit's due. Den Terrigan did as well.
A family victim. My mum can cook and I know how to eat, so I can just knock you out with one blow. Do you know what I mean? So I don't even know why you're talking wicked about how you're going to come right down to Manchester and do Betty
When did this happen? Exactly, Betty. When did this happen?
For years, but I'm still here. I'm still waiting for this fucking fool lady to come and do me the, just.
Now, I find this extraordinary because what Betty is saying here. What I think that Jedi's matured a lot, just like I think that I've matured a lot. It's quite embarrassing saying that I've matured when I'm 55, but then you learn something about yourself doing this. It's one of the reasons why I came on, because I did my own shows. I enjoy learning about myself as much as other people, but what I don't like is all the negativity. I don't mind critical, constructive criticism. But when people are just saying it blatantly just to be spiteful, and it's so obvious to me when it's just spiteful as well, I let a lot of it go over my head, but I just think, oh my God, not again. Yeah, getting back to Betty. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
That is a fact, Kane. That is a whole fact. Imagine the madness.
What she said. Just go back a tiny bit.
Wendy can, because I'm sure Wendy recorded it, and Wendy tends to record things on my show if she's on the panel, which is fair enough. If she's on the panel, she can record it and stuff like that. But you're not going to use the death of your son for clout. It's disgusting, especially when you're mocking my child and you've mocked other people's child. Do you know what I mean? You're a lying little skank, fam. You're a little fuck, and you're a bully as well. I mean, this girl said she was going to ride down to Manchester to sort me out. You know what? I'm packing like I put on quite a lot of weight. You know what I mean? And I'm not...
Right. That's what I was going to say. So this woman's lost her child to violence, street violence, and she's threatening other people online instead of getting justice for her son. You couldn't make this shit up. Seriously. Meanwhile, campaigning to stop violent crime in London.
Knocking 5'9". I'm not some small thing, you know. I'm not like Lady D, like looking like a famine victim. My mum can cook and I know how to eat, so I can just knock you out with one blow.
The jealousy
So I don't even know why
real.
you're talking wicked about how you're going to come right down to Manchester and do Betty dirty.
Listen, people.
That's what this girl's saying, yeah? For years, but I'm still here. I'm still waiting for this fucking fool Lady D to come and do me dirty, you know. And this is how she talks. She talks wickedness.
Wasn't it Finest Wine that said she's going up there?
Well.
Exactly. She's got me confused with Finest Wine.
She used the death of her son to lie on somebody and slander.
Divvy, man.
But anytime that little fucking gym slip mum, fucking baby mother, fucking mentions my name again, I'm gonna come with the fire in it. I'm not called, what did they call me? Machine Gun Betty. I'm not called Machine Gun Betty for nothing. But you don't use the death of your child for clout. It's disgusting, though. Do you know what I mean? It's just so, it's in poor taste. Have you got any pictures of Lady D? Lady D's fucking picture. Where's Lady D's picture now, man? One more. Let me try and find this Lady D's picture.
Yeah, Benny, we got this, bro. We got this. We got you. Yeah, we got this.
Let me see if I can find it. Give me a moment to see if I can find it. I think it's on that Push TV. Got Push TV. But you don't even have, this Lady D, you don't even have food. You are naive. You know you don't have food in your cupboard. You look like someone that got malaria. Yeah? And it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Yeah? You look like someone with malaria.
This is what they do, guys. Whenever they can't attack verbally or come back with logic, they go for our video. This is what they do.
Malaria and shit. Yeah? It's funny that, isn't it, really? You want to talk on somebody. Like you also
take notes of the spreading of the links in Jupiter's chat, right, sis? Make sure you take notes of that.
But yeah, very abusive. But I think, personally, they must have grown up in an abusive house, especially Lady D. The way she's cussing, you just think, God, you must have just grown up in some degenerate household where your parents were always arguing. Yeah. Yeah, this is a Lady D and Aifa. Yeah.
Right, people, I'm deliberately not bringing the stream up, but I have dropped the stream link if people want to go and look at what she is showing later.
That's what we need.
It's not the first, second, third, or fourth.
This is what we need.
Because you don't put it over the weekend.
Like the concerts.
Let the people them see
don't
us,
have
man.
Food in their cupboards.
Let them see the goddesses up in this bed. Show
People
the
like this
thing,
have
gummy.
food in the cupboard.
Show the malaria, gummy. Go on, show the malaria.
Show the famine victims, man. Put the famine victims up there,
you know,
man.
the military, what do you call it? Fatigues. And that's that guy, the no-neck guy. Fucking, he's another one who plays like being an African. Yeah. But these people want to talk on looks. Do you look like you have food in your cupboard? Do you have food in your cupboard? Yeah. Have something to eat into. The famine look is not a good thing in African culture. These are what the Jamaicans call marga. The girl's marga. That's how they are, the marga. How many children has Lady D had? She's at least had, I think she's got 2 daughters and that dead son. Yeah, and look how slim you are. Like you didn't have anything to eat. Yeah.
Are you jealous? Are you jealous?
Do you know what I mean? And I just think Naifa, I think definitely Naifa lacks confidence in herself as a black woman, because she's very upset about what you call it, Hector choosing Jupiter as a wife. But the Nigerian women, no Nigerian woman gives a fuck about Hector being with Jupiter. We don't give a shit. Because we think to ourselves, well, fucking hell, Hector, if we want a Nigerian man, he's not the only fucking Nigerian man about, is there? Fucking hell, there's about 200 million fucking Nigerians. Fucking hell, why are we fighting over Hector? Well, you know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's what I don't understand, Betty. Thanks for pointing it out. You know, they're all acting like he's fucking Denzel Washington or something. I mean, to me, he is. I absolutely adore Hector. I think he's the most gorgeous man in the whole wide world. Just like every other wife thinks that their husband is the best looking bloke in the world and the best thing since sliced cheese. That's how it should be. But these two people, why are they so invested? It's mental.
I mean, I don't see women dashing knickers at Hector. Do you know what I mean? He isn't some Nollywood movie star. But it's just funny how you can talk on looks, yeah? But you don't even look like you've got food in your cupboards. Do you know what I mean? But it's sad that Naifa would spend so much time on this Hector guy. Do you know what I mean? And he looks like an obsession, because the fact of the matter is, Hector doesn't have a channel. He goes on the wife's channel. But you know what? I felt it was just so sad to hear her go. He likes me. He dreams about me. That's what Naiva was saying about Hector yesterday. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Does your man know? Does Naiva even have a man? Does your man hear you say all this nonsense? That's what I'm saying, that you got some type of secret crush on Hector. Now, I can understand that one of the reasons why Naiva doesn't like Jupiter is because she's shown a picture of a son on video, which is understandable. But Jupiter's docs me too. But I've got over it, innit? You can't hold on to something for fucking ever. Do you know what I mean?
Right, so now I want to clear this little point up here. So Betty was in a newspaper for something, and somebody else had done a video saying that Betty was a troll, and I did review it. That article was in that video, a bit much like today, what I'm doing today.
Into the clean up operation, boy.
I've moved on from arguing with Betty. In fact, I'd like to move on from arguing with anybody on personals. I'd rather just stick to ideals. I've been saying it for over 2 years now, but no one seems to be listening, apart from sensible people. It's interesting to me, the ones that have turned out to be sensible, actually. So Jedi and a lot of people on their channel, they might not like me, they might not agree with me, but they are civil and understand that we don't do personals. Betty's understood that we don't do personals. Yeah, there are several other people, but...
So if you don't do personals, bitch, why did you go for Nanifa's child? If you don't do personals, why are you talking about my child right now? Why are you talking about my child right now if you don't do... Like, listen to this walking fucking contradiction, people. Listen to this bullshit.
Mastercraft says, Jupiter, tell your husband I believe he won't go near either of both of them women. They're too ugly. I'll tell you himself, though. He's doing so at the moment, but when he comes round, maybe at the end of this review, because I know he's walking in and out and he's hearing bits and pieces of it, maybe he'll have something to say himself and you get to hear from the horse's mouth what he actually thinks of these women. He knows what it is. He knows what it is, and I know what it is. These women think that they're going to try and make me feel insecure in my marriage and psych me out. It's never going to happen. You've only got to look at the photo of me and Hector that I've got on screen to show you that we actually do love each other. We've got a bond that not a lot of people understand. I think I'm blessed to be in a relationship where I would trust Hector 100% of my life. And I know that he trusts me with his life 100%. You know? So Pauline's saying, Jupiter, the video I recall of you playing nines in park, her son had his back to us. Yes, because I didn't want to show his face. So all
Did
this
you
that
hear
I
her?
doxed
Did you
the
hear that?
child.
Yes, because I didn't want to
because
show
I
his
didn't want to
face.
show his
You
face.
lot.
I wanted to prove a point based on the fact
How did you do it?
that
Oh,
she
no,
was
no,
on
no.
a live stream
Hold on a
with
minute.
Lady Divine.
No.
Talking.
No.
Okay.
I've got to pause.
Talking.
Got to pause.
In fact, initially.
No. Did you hear that? This woman said, I remember that he had the back. And she said yes, because I didn't want to show his face. Yo, you're a dickhead, man. Yo. You're funny, man. You're funny.
Actually,
you play
it wasn't.
Like...
So let's get this into the right timeline. This is what
this is a fucking nightmare for you, love. It's just a nightmare, man.
Yeah, I agree. The Roscoe stream is the way forward. But I want to put this to
bed. We're going to review the Roscoe stream as well, because that's where all the pains.
I've already done it twice, and they've still carried on.
The real problem is the Danny Roscoe
I just
conversation we had. This is the real crux of her
they're
problem.
Propagating lies again. You see, when I went on to Jelousy the other day, I was only there to speak about ideals. And I even tried to say to him, look, I haven't come here to argue. I just want to discuss ideals. It was them that wanted to drag it into an argument. So I need to put a final nail in the coffin so that people understand where I'm coming from, and then I can get on with my business. And if they want to keep
idiot. Dummy, you're an idiot.
Bullshit to be relevant.
You're an idiot.
People will see this stream. I convert to
no
the stream
way,
and say, no,
dummy.
Go look at the stream. You know. So Mastercraft said, oh, that's right. Pauline Smith, he did have his back to the camera. And Transporter is saying, oh, yeah, I remember that now. He did have his back on video. Yes, because I don't believe in doing that to kids. I wouldn't put kids in danger.
So then why would you go for the video in the first place? Like, what is she talking about?
The reason that I was angry with them was two things. They'd done a live stream and they were sitting on live stream. And as per usual, Nynefa was saying all these god-awful stuff about Hector being a coon and everything else and how nasty I was. And she's entitled to have an opinion on whether I'm nasty or not. But she's not entitled to have an opinion where she can think just because she's got black skin that she can be racist to other people. Okay? But she was. Right?
Oh.
And
what?
I was angry from that stream. Also on that stream, they tried to imply that
this is what you call scattershot people, yeah? Trying to get everything in there.
And that was racial stereotype.
Anyway.
What they were trying to say is that he abandoned a black woman to come and marry a white woman. And that isn't true. It's not true.
What?
If he did have a child in Nigeria, let me tell people, I would not be embarrassed to say, oh, he's already got a child. Because when I met Hector, I already had 6 children from previous marriage. So it's not like it would have been too embarrassing at all. In fact, it wouldn't have been embarrassing in any way, shape or form. And I can honestly tell you, having people within my extended family, like sisters who have married divorcees and stuff, who have had children, having sons that have dated girls that have had previous children, you know, I'm somebody that embraces other people's kids. I don't discriminate. So I've got 11 biological grandchildren, but depending on who my children are dating, some years I will say 15, some years I will say 13, some years I will say 12, you know, depending on who they're dating, because when those children come into my family and they will be invited because they're with my son, with their children, those children are treated as if they're my grandchildren. They get Christmas presents from me and everything, equal Christmas presents as well, not just tokens. They get exactly the same amount of money spent on them as my biological grandchildren. So if Hector had had a child, that child would have been treated as equal as the rest of my children. So hold on one sec, Hector. So what they wanted to do was just say all that stuff just to try and smear me and to smear him and to make themselves feel better, because I think they didn't like it that, you know, I've managed to get a man that didn't have no children twice.
And we ain't got no men, right? You've been saying that for 5 years. We're single mothers, right? Okay.
Yep, they did miscalculate on that, because it's not true. And what they did was they took Hector has a particular style of speaking because he is whatchamacallit, he has got he still maintain his Nigerian sort of accent and stuff, and the way that they pronounce things. And just like the French, for example, they put emphasis on words in a different place, or the Australians, they go up at the end of a sentence. You know, the way that we emphasize words in our language is different to how they emphasize words in Nigerian culture.
And you know she's lying when she stutters. Anytime she stutters and
to them,
get in the way,
how they read it isn't the way that it would have been read by a Nigerian. Nigerians understood what he was saying. Those with Nigerian
he
culture
said, and my
heritage.
daughter in
So
Nigeria.
People like
he didn't
Reggie
say nothing
understood.
exciting.
People like Betty understood, because they understand the tones and inclinations. And I always say that that's something very important that you have to look at on these channels, because
oh my God, you can't even say that he said that
really
and he made a mistake.
know
and that's why we know you're
in the
lying.
real world. You haven't got facial expression or the mannerisms, etc., etc., etc. But I also think they were deliberately disingenuous just to be spiteful. It was just to be spiteful.
See that?
So that had also pissed me off. So they'd lied about Hector. They'd been racial towards us. They were dissing me, making up lies. They were trying to convince black people that I was against black women and that I was going to bully black men, which is pathetic. You know. And so I was angry with them.
What's the black and white count at the moment, family? What is it about? 50-50?
And I did say to Wendy in a phone call, I'm going to go and look through COE and see if I can find an image of this Nynefa, because I don't go in on their looks, but they're always talking about my looks, as many people do. And I'm
the only people that talk about your looks, the people that make memes out of you, love, and put it on their channels.
And when she said, yeah, there is one, there's only one stream, I think, where she's in. So I went looking. And when I found the stream of her in, I just assumed, again, assumptions, mother of all fuck ups, that was the stream that Wendy was talking about. Wendy said there was one stream. So when I found the stream with Nynefa in, I believe that was the only stream in existence. Now, can I prove that's the only stream in existence?
She's lying.
No, I don't know. I didn't go look for any else once I found that. And it just so happened,
lying, man.
That
even after stream, Wendy and others proved it, you're still going to lie to your audience, man. Circle.
Now, when I did my stream and I played it, like I'm telling you now, I do not know Nynefa's real name. I do not know Nynefa's child's name. I never went down a Facebook to find that information. It was on a public domain, watched by over 40,000 people. She introduced that child herself. It wasn't an accident that he went on camera. She introduced that child herself. Okay? I've never put any details out about Nynefa because I don't know any details out about Nynefa.
Although you was looking for my job.
The only thing that I have said that I can't prove
you the sack if I find out where you
she works in a school, and that's because Wendy told me she was a cleaner in the school.
A cleaner!
Wow.
And I believed Wendy at the time.
First we got no jobs, we're benefits,
and
now we're a cleaner. Wow.
Probably bullshit as well, because we all know what Wendy is, but whatever, right? So I did repeat that. And I'm not going to deny that I repeated that. I did repeat that.
You're just exposing yourself left, right, and centre, man.
But such is the way on here that when you're attacked, people do tend to sort of like attack back. So I said, you're just a school cleaner. You know, I did say that to her. And I said, you want to watch yourself working around kids because of your racism and everything else. But did I ever go and report? And no, I didn't.
Because you had nowhere to report me to, you donkey.
I don't know her name. don't know where she works, don't know her child's name, don't know her address, didn't dox her. She runs around saying it's a dox. It's not a dox. And when I actually played the stream online, I made sure that the child's face was not shown. So all this stuff where they keep running around saying I dox the child.
And more lies.
You know, this stuff needs to be cleared up.
If you're going to clear it up, you start with telling the truth, man. Not trying to use gum.
I'm not too sure what Lady D's fucking. Oh, the Lady D's just moaning about a son. Yeah, a dead son. But the fact of the matter is, you're using your dead son for clout, and you mock other people's children. So if anyone mocks your dead son, so be it, innit? You know.
Show evidence of this.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander, or whatever that saying is. Do you know what I mean? You're a hypocrite.
I just want to say at this point, I would never mock her son. Lady Divine's son's done nothing to me. I don't know the full circumstances.
You mocked it over the weekend, Gummy. Don't try it, Gummy.
And when Betty gets to that part,
you did it over the weekend, Gummy. It's only because they took the video down, but you did it up Saturday, Gummy. That's why you're a disgusting human being, man. I would never mock that. I would never
that's
even
why we've got it downloaded.
And we listened live.
Sorry, Lady Divine.
Beside that reprobate Esau,
to going through grief. It must be a horrific thing to go through. I don't get any joy from what she's going through.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. I know.
What am I going through? What am I going through?
That's why you're doing it.
This girl's a joke.
You didn't get joy. You wouldn't be doing this, woman. You and Betty are both sick. Yeah, you're both sick in your head, man.
Both of them are just hypocrites. But the bullying that they did to Jupiter yesterday, it was so disgusting. Now, obviously, I don't go on Jupiter's panel, but what I would say to Jupiter is, like, when they start doing that bullying, I beg you get off the panel or go on mute, because let them expose themselves. Because even people that are riding with them, like Melanated Goddess, are seeing. She defended Jupiter yesterday, and I don't even think she was really defending Jupiter, because I'm not defending Jupiter. She's defending the principle of it, that you don't gang up on somebody like that for hour and hour and hour.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thanks for that information, Betty. Thanks for letting us know what Melanated was doing. Thank you.
She does it out of grief. Do you know what I mean? But you don't have the right to attack Jupiter because your son died. Go and find the murderers of your son. It's nobody else's fault, but you're the one that put the information out there that your son was murdered. Nobody else. You put it out there. And then you got upset when people talked about it. But you talk on my child all the time. You talk on me. You're threatening me.
Child,
you're going to come and do me dirty.
Betty,
and you're another one that's done the same thing.
Betty,
talked on my child, talked on me. Said the most disgusting thing. Naiva's got a catalogue of shows where she's insulted me, and then she wonders why I've got a problem with her.
Betty.
Do you know what I mean?
This is
you know what, Betty?
Like, nah,
you're an idiot, Betty, man.
You're disloyal and you're disrespectful. Yeah, and you got some type of you got the mental illness.
Yeah, Betty.
Chasing another woman's husband.
Of course,
Betty's out here telling people.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to really say about it. And I couldn't say it.
This is your evidence, Gummy. This is what you're trying to use, Gummy.
So I've got to respect this panel, but I will say it on my own panel. No, you can't come and control what I say in my own panel. But Lady D, you're using your son.
Betty, Jupiter, you can do better than this.
Yeah, and if you want to know where my children are, first ask yourself where your son is.
Because you know what I mean?
Don't be calling on my children when you ain't even got a son. The irony of it.
You were the one that said
you want to mock my children and tell me that I don't have children, but you don't have a fucking son because he's packed a body back. He's in he's decomposing in the fucking graveyard. The irony of it, and that's what this is really about. Your son's dead.
The family victim has more. The family victim has more. Remember,
Betty.
And that is why you're attacking
and that's why you're hurt, Betty.
But you don't know what it took.
If that's what you want to do, Betty.
To have children and the pain I've gone through with having endometriosis. You don't know what it took for me to have children. And you don't know my fucking pain. So don't ever talk on it. Because any day me upon seeing you, it's on internet. Yeah, be very careful about drawing me out. You don't know me, you've never met me.
Actual clown.
Yeah?
Yo, Gummy.
But I know how to put hands on
Gummy,
people.
is this what you're doing? Trying
So
to
be
use
careful
Betty,
what you say in
because you can't do it yourself.
Don't draw me out and take, because we can take this shit offline.
Ah.
And don't think that if I ever clap you one in person, I'm doing it to defend Wendy and Jupiter. No, I'm doing it to defend me and my children.
What fucking children?
But be careful what you say about me,
What children?
Because I can take this shit offline, innit?
Yeah, let's take it offline.
No,
Anyway,
no,
people,
leave. Don't talk now. We need this. We
I'm
need
probably
this.
gonna play my favorite song. I really like one of my favorite songs is it Fenty Wap. I'm really getting into. I'm trying to.
Nine, remember, whenever you get to the violent part, we need it. Remember, they said to
So that
gather
was that
all
one.
evidence.
So
You
now
can't talk that part.
we're going to play another stream of hers where another black lady joins and speaks to Betty. And yeah, it's quite interesting. So just hold on one sec.
All right, family. So as she goes to find another video, so let me first and foremost say, for those that ain't about this type of stream, this, that, and the other, do you know what I mean? You know, you can catch me another time, because obviously I'm not trying to alienate, but you don't know there's a certain settings where I go on right now, and yeah, this is where I deal with it right now still. But do come back another time. For those that, you get me, this does not concern. But yeah, this is where we're at still, family. This is where we're at, man. And yeah, you don't know.
I'm trying to learn
always about documentation.
Rap, and I wanna do Cardi B's Money, and so I'm trying to learn the lyrics.
Big up yourself, Goofy. Yo, Goofy, have a shower still, because I know you. No, in fact, I don't know for 100.
So sorry, people. I'm back again, innit? So Lady D's been threatening my life. She's putting threats on my life. Now I've got the screenshots of it. I can't show it you because it's on my phone. But so like
Okay, so before we get to that one, let's play this one, because Betty's done a few streams on this over the last few days. So
she certainly
let's
has.
get to this one. I'm going to do
like that person said. Lady D was playing my recording on the G Block until Veli told her to stop doing it. But let me just play this song, and then I'm going to do some talking. So I'm going to play CB7th, Talk on My Name. Yeah. Since she thinks she's gangster. Same energy. I hope you can use that same energy that you did offline. Now let's look at what you've actually said to me, and you threatened me, and you're trying to come on my fucking show. Let's have a look at. Let me read the threats that you put in it, because this is not the first time that you threatened me. What have you put here now? You said something like, "Better have your address as to watch your mouth before we piss on your child's grave."
Wow, that's not me.
You murdered Speaker's Corner. Why should I go?
Why is she talking to trolls?
Speaker's Corner for Lady D to come and murder me, sweetheart. If you know my fucking address,
this woman's
you need to ride out in it.
She's mental, man.
I mean, I'm not going to move all the way to London for you to come and attack me. Why would I do that? I'm not mentally ill. You the one that got the mental, yeah. You know my address. Pull up, sweetheart. I've got a beautiful kitchen.
So now, not only have you got a digital baby,
my life.
You've got
You're
digital
your back
trolls.
still. I've got a beautiful kitchen knife, Lady D, and I know how to use it. And since you miss your son so much, yeah, you can go and join your son after I've used my kitchen knife to sharpen it on you in it. Yeah?
Come on.
Since you think you're gonna threaten me, you can threaten your back in it. So I want you to listen carefully to the lyrics of this song. So you know that I know about self-defense. You're not going to put no threats on my fucking life in it, and think that I'm not going to react in it.
But this is the last. You remember when Jupiter doxed Betty on Dead Eyes? Oh no, we don't want none of this. Oh no, we don't want none of this, bro. Oh, how do I stop
So
this?
hold on a minute. Now
Now
pause
we
that.
stop this.
Pause that. So are we
Wow.
here understanding that my girl's talking to trolls and saying it's Lady D? This is what she's
telling
mad
you,
about.
man. I'm telling you, man.
You can't make this
That's what I'm
shit
trying to
up.
say. Not only do you have digital babies, she's got digital trolls now that she's using, and Gummy's trying to use this as what? This is what I'm trying to say, man. Gummy's a dickhead, man. An absolute dickhead, man. But it is what it is, man.
The storyline writes itself, people. You just got to work with it. Hence why they say gather all evidence and just submit it in it. We already know what time it is, people. But listen to this madness. She's actually talking to a troll with the name Lady D and saying it's me. Are we listening to the fucking mental bitch? When I said this girl is sick in her fucking head, just go and watch and
the
listen,
thing
man.
is, she knows that she's sick. So to use her to do her dirty work. So this is what I'm trying to say. This is another one that she just uses to do her dirty work. Nothing new. But obviously Betty ain't well already. That's why she even got blights from us in the first place. But you know, so then blight they done boy, because you don't know. Nobody no feel sorry for Margaret dog. And people done told us already from she fucked up with Esau, but you know, it won't happen again. That's a definite star. Will not happen again. I'm just obviously turned it off because I heard music in it.
Yo, it's a thank God for digital, yeah, because you can record and download and save, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, I'm gonna have a field time with this. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. Betty will be off the streets of YouTube very soon. Don't watch nothing. Let her do what she's doing. Don't report nothing. Don't take down nothing, because every bit of evidence is definitely much needed. So I'm advising you guys, don't strike down the videos yet, nothing like that, because we need to collect every single stream. Every one of them is very vital right now.
And you know, the thing is, what was funny is when I was on the G block. So, but take this warning. Take this warning. I think you would keep your dirty little mouth shut, innit? You think everybody's what you and feel trying to come on. You honestly think I'm going to take that? Someone's murdered.
So Betty's using, just so you lot know, someone's come in her back chat.
If someone's murdered,
and
why does she
written
want to harm
whatever,
me? She
and
should
this
be
is what
leaving and not
she's
trying to harm
responding to.
people. Well, this is the
Yeah.
thing, though. But you know what they say? When someone is in pain,
Yeah.
they want other people to feel
Girl's
that pain.
fucking nuts.
That is the problem. She can't see past her own pain.
And
But
this
for
is what
years, she's been
Gummy's
using her
using.
son's death for clout,
And this is
to
why I'm
bully
Gummy. I
and
say you got nothing,
and
Gummy,
insult
man.
other people's children. Yeah, what she hides behind computer screen. But my thing is, don't feel like you can hide behind computer screen, because everybody can be found, including you, Lady D, or what's your name, fucking Dawn. I think her name's Dawn. You can be found. If your son got murdered, you think you would keep your dirty little mouth shut, innit? You think everybody's on a talk thing. People, I can max that action and take it offline. But obviously, I don't want to have to take it offline.
Now, we
But
all
if you
know that
talk too
people
much
come
and
in
you
the back
fucking draw
chats,
me
yeah,
out
with
and you start
people's
threatening
names.
to murder me, I'll fuck
And
you up,
they
fam.
did it all
I
last
will
week with
fuck
Wendy's name.
you up. I'm
Now
gonna
they're doing it
keep
with my
this
name, and she
for
says it's
future
me.
reference.
Just remember this.
Because this is not the first time using you, Lady D, or what's your name, fucking Dawn. I think her name's Dawn. You can be found. If your son got murdered, you think you would keep your dirty little mouth shut, innit? You think everybody's on a talk thing. People, I can max that action and take it offline. But obviously, I don't want to have to take it offline. But if you talk too much and you fucking draw me out and you start threatening to murder me, I'll fuck you up, fam. I will fuck you up. I'm going to keep this for future reference, because this is not the first time you threatened me, yeah? And I'm getting fed up of you little fucking threats. You talk too much, yeah? Shut your dirty little mouth. So, but take this warning. Take this warning. Shut your dirty little mouth. Yeah, if anything happens to me, she's committed around exactly. But the thing is, why do you not? Why are you threatening? me when your son got murdered years ago when you threatened to attack me, but your son was murdered at that time. Why are you threatening me? I'm somebody's mother, somebody's daughter. Why are you threatening me? You're just using your son's death for clout to be abusive and horrible to people. And Veli don't pull you up on the bullshit. You're mocking me and my child, but Veli don't pull you up on it. Yeah? But he wants to pull me up on what you're saying. Yeah. It's easy to find people in the internet age. Exactly. It's easy to find people. But she's got a list of people that are after her. That stupid, a family victim. A list, got a gutter mouth. Yeah? And she's not at all a fat woman. Skinny little thing. Yeah? But talks too wicked.
Oh, she's jealous of my shape, guys. She's very much jealous. Just pay her no mind.
Shut up. Shut your little dirty little fucking mouth up. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to play this song, but I'm going to keep their picture on so you get the warning, Lady D. Door.
So, as you can see, there was death threats. And basically what she was playing there wasn't, it was just, I don't know, people singing in the park. But anyway, so let's move on to the next one. So she says she was getting death threats. For having an opinion on truth. So this
in the side chat, Gummy, in her side chat, Gummy, remember, yo, Gummy, you know what, Gummy, you're actually just, yeah, you're a piece of shit, man. You're actually a piece of shit, man.
I think it's, yeah, this one.
Hello, people. It is showtime. So it's time to do review of this Lady D, R.K. Ruth Thomas, whose son was murdered, named Rowan Thomas Williams. This is a woman that has spent years insulting me and my children, mocking me, threatening me, and other people. This is what Ruth has done. So what we're going to do is we're going to review. We're going to, since she talks so much, she enjoys mocking me and my children. It's time, let's expose her son. So this is her son that was killed. This is the son that was killed.
Gummy, you're weak.
2013.
You're just showing how weak you are, Gummy. You're weak, Gummy.
He was a father.
You're weak, Gummy, man.
She was married at 16. So he was a father, innit? So she's a grandmother.
Gummy, man.
And look at you. Could you imagine? Your son gets murdered, and then you spend time mocking my children and threatening to unalive me and others. Anyway, that's what you do. Instead of going to find the killer.
Listen to it, people. Make sure you're taking notes. Remember, I'm sending her threats.
So I'm going to drop the link for that because the article that she's referring to with all the stuff in it is on that video. So it's there. There's the article. Anybody wants to go over and see what she's actually referring to.
No, I hear you, man, but
and stuff like
you
that.
don't know, man.
So I'm going to play it. Don't worry. I'm going to play it here. So, oh, sorry, Cooley. Yeah. So it appears that Betty has found her name. She's upset because, well, she's being threatened with death threats. But interesting little thing there. The child that died had children. So Lady Divine, who's been going around all this place, slagging off grandmothers and saying grandmothers should get offline, is in fact a grandmother herself.
Lies.
Just let that sink in.
Of your son, you're sitting there threatening online to unalive people behind your cartoon avatar, thinking nobody can find your details. Well, Jedi exposed her real name in the beginning, years and years ago.
Is it?
You know what I mean? And then she started telling everybody about who her son was, the circumstances of her son's death.
Lies,
quite unique.
lies.
So it's not hard to find who her son is. Do you know what I mean? And she's done quite a lot of media. But what I want to do is warm up the show with, you know, some songs. Yeah. So we're gonna play Ice Cube, Natural Born Killer. Yeah. I think it's a very appropriate song for what we're talking about. But this is one of the things that you need to do with people like Lady D that spend their time bullying and attacking. And I don't want to die. Right, that was.
But you know, at the end of the day, Divine, all of this just exposes how really hurt and, you know what I mean, just insipid they are. Yeah, and to
investigate who killed the son.
Now
I'm calculating.
It says in the newspaper article
that her son was a father, and I remember her saying that she got married at 16. So obviously she had a shotgun wedding.
More lies. This is ridiculous.
That's why. And this is actually
that's why them two are good together, because they both create stories.
The father of her son Rowan. Her son's called Rowan. Yeah. So now I don't like. Let's get it from that. Me and Jupiter are not friends. You know what I mean? I think, you know what I mean? But I don't need to. I've already reiterated what I've thought of Jupiter all these years. But me and Jupiter have a truce. I don't even care like Jupiter like that. But what I don't like is people that bully people and act like bullies the way this Ruth is. Online, I think that she's never going to get fucking exposed. Well, welcome to expose season. So
your expose is bullshit, though. That's the funny part about it, Betty, you idiot.
Soul of everything.
Ruth Thomas and Michael Williams can't understand why anyone would have wanted to shoot their son.
Soul of everything.
Ruth Thomas and Michael Williams can't understand why anyone would have wanted to shoot their son.
Soul of everything.
Ruth Thomas and Michael Williams can't understand why anyone would have wanted
what the hell is this?
Well, if anybody's ever been bullied and attacked by this Lady D, Ruth, you would know why. Do you know what I mean? Because she, you know, the very fact that he's got a mother like her, yeah, it speaks to the reason why you should not have children at 16. Yeah. It speaks to her. It really speaks to the immaturity of this woman and why she gets so angry. She is angry because her son's killers have to this day not been found. So there's I've Googled quite a lot of her information. Why is that fucking I need to find the link. So let's listen to what she said about me. That and you know when I'm at the end of my tether. I've had enough of this girl, Lady D. I've really had enough of her. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to put up with it. The huge forehead. I'm not the huge forehead. Yeah, I've had enough. Yeah, this is it. Threatening Betty won't bring her dead son's back life. And threatening Betty's life is what her son's killer did, except they killed her son. This is what I mean. but it shows you what grief can do. It's time for her to grow up. Do you know what I mean? You should celebrate life. To celebrate your son's life instead of mourning his death. And this is like 2013. She goes
What the
on like she's the
hell
only
is
one
she
that's ever lost
banging
a
on
son.
about?
Do you know what I mean? She isn't. But I've had enough of it as well. And you know what I mean? Like she'll go on the G block and then Velly will let her just run her mouth and run her mouth and insult me and mock me and my children and then attack Jupiter. And Jupiter will be just sitting there. And she's not even coming, you know, when Jupiter's not coming on to have an argument, but she'll constantly attack. So, and I'm getting fed up of it because you're doing it because your son's killers are not being found to this very day, and your son is dead. Nobody's responsible for her son dying except the people that killed her. Yeah. So this is what pissed me off. Let me play this. About what she's been saying about me.
Hello, Betty.
Hi, Simon. Sorry about that. But you keep on repeating yesterday that Jupiter was mocking your son or your existence of your son on my show. Now I know that show that you're talking about, and that was in the very beginning of when I met Wendy and Jupiter, and they didn't mock. Jupiter did not mock your son. She questioned whether he exists, but she didn't mock him. Yeah, and that's
so
what
you don't think.
Right. So what we're listening to is Betty playing a recording from Vellies that I didn't even know that had happened. Okay. Till I saw this stream of Betty's, I didn't even know that Betty had gone on and told Lady Divine that. I didn't know. So it was very interesting.
Lies. She was in the chats. She was in the chats. Questioning
whether my
story is true is mocking or not. You don't.
Well, you've mocked the existence of my children.
But you don't.
So who are you to sit there? Who are you there to sit there and talk about people mocking your child? Well, you do the same.
But Betty, where's your children?
And another thing is, where is your son?
Where's your children, Betty?
Where's your son?
Where's your children, Betty?
Where's your son?
Jesus. Come on, man. We can't do this.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Jesus?
Stop talking about children.
You
sound like the dream team.
You are not here. If you don't
notice that Simon Lord's getting himself involved, even though he's sat in the background going down people's Facebooks. It's unbelievable. But like I said, these people that want to say the scummy side are only one side, they're just actually just as bad.
Want people to mock your child, don't do it to others.
Don't talk about
children.
No, but Betty, you can't speak about
you do not blame people
like
for what happened to your son.
Hold on, Betty.
Nobody is responsible for what happened to your son, but the sick people that did it. And you don't spend your time beating people emotionally up because your son is gone. I'm sorry that your son is gone.
That's horrendous.
So Simon Lord is saying that's horrendous. I've heard him say a lot worse. I mean, he sits on Velli's channel, but he called my children chimpanzees. He was really racist to Hector. He's been racist to Janet. He's been racist to Betty. Simon Lord is a really fucking vile racist. We all know that he is. Okay, so he needs to stop with his fake outrage. Yeah, Wendy Woo's best mate, maybe relative, but there's something going on there anyway. But yeah, it needs to stop. It really does need to stop. Simon pretending that because I've never heard him sort of apologise to any of these people. You see, when I've wronged someone, when I've said something that I'm actually ashamed of, people say that I agree with that, Mother India. Children are the future. Rest in peace to all the children who lost their lives over pettiness. I agree. when I actually fucking regret things, I will apologise. So, motion, yeah, genuinely 100% regret saying things I said to Motion and believing the people that told me the bullshit. Me and Hector both apologised to him. Maku.
That's a lie. You didn't apologize to him. You apologized to Jedi and Maku. Stop lying, man.
Defending my husband that he'd just called the M-word. When I got slightly tearful about it, I actually didn't like myself. Immediately I said I didn't like it. But my love for Hector and my defence for Hector put me in that position. But did I like it? No, I was genuine. So when I apologised to Maku over that and we sorted things out with Maku, that was actually a truthful apology. You know,
you see,
when Esau proved that I'd got wrong the situation between him and Wendy, I gave Esau an apology. It was genuine because I knew I was wrong. I don't give apologies to people that don't deserve it. The Mastercraft says, I agree with Betty. Belly does allow them to do whatever, say whatever, because there is Caribbean brethren. Interesting angle. But I do think that there is a Caribbean Nigerian divide on these channels. I do believe that. So let's carry on anyway.
Do you not just listen to Betty spazzing out about?
And as per usual, I'm going to drop the link to this particular one in the side chat so people can see for themselves.
About my children and blame other people for what happened to your son. Yeah? And Melanie has told you that before yesterday and you didn't want to take it into it. Stop blaming other people for what happened to your son. Yeah? You're not the only one that had the child die. You're not going to blame me and other people for what happened to your son. And you're not going to mock my child. Yeah?
So what
practice
what you
hold on, everyone. Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, because.
So this is my problem with her. She's repeatedly trying to tell me I don't have any children, clearly mocking my children and me. Yeah, but then she says in the next breath, no one can mock her child. Do you know what I mean? No one can talk on her child. Now, if you look at the comment sections, there's people saying she never had a child. Do you know what I mean? Her son getting, her kid getting murdered is a fake story, etc., etc. So this is what I'm saying, that you should practice what you preach. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to continue to mock me and my family and then fucking tell me that I need to keep quiet about yours. No, I don't have to keep quiet. You know, who are you? You little fucking family victim, little fucking crackhead that you are. Yeah? So what we're going to do, and Veli allows it. You see how Veli allows it? Oh, I bet you can't say anything about a son. But she continues to talk to my children. But the difference is I don't let them know how many children I've got. And the sexes, I keep it to my fucking self. Because it's nobody else's business except me and their father. Yeah? But you can see how a son got murdered by her behaviour. You know what I mean? Very arrogant. She's just a bully, basically. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to look at the case of her son. Yeah, and it's a prime example of like, don't have children out when you're in high school. Yeah, you know, actually make a life for yourself before you start having children. Man. Yeah, big up, and let me see what Tom Fuller is saying. And she's making a very good point. She's saying that guilt is driving her poor behaviour. Yeah, guilt is very true. Man. Mulberry Court. That's where she lives. Laughing out of the media docs too. Oh, is that where she lives? Ah, yeah. But I'm just gonna read the article. There's a lot of different articles on this, yeah. But because she talks so much, yeah, you know, she ends up doxing herself. Do you know what I mean? But she obviously talks thinking that nobody's gonna check up on her. But I tell you what, you're not gonna threaten me and threaten me for years and mock my children and get away with it. I will fucking roast your child's gonna be on my show, you know, day in, day out still. Yeah. And your grandmother, for fuck's sake, this is
please keep doing it, Betty. You're helping me. You're helping me.
Is a fucking grandmother. For fuck's sake. And look at the way she's carrying on. Yeah. So let's see. It says something. It says something about appeal. It says, so this is her son. And you're only mocking my children because your son is dead, isn't it? You don't have a son. You're sitting on Valley shouting, Betty, where's your children? But it's actually you that doesn't have the child. Your son's in a body bag, you stupid fool, Ruth. Yeah? And to this day, they still can't find your son's murderer. But you've got all this energy to be attacking me, Jupiter, instead of to get up off your fucking family victim arse and go and find the people that murdered your son. Go and put some flowers on your son's grave still. Yeah? So we've got this from the Kilburn Times, this article. Yeah? It says the 8th of December 2016, Rowan Thomas Williams. So we know that's what a son's called because we had this, yeah, we had this one here.
Everything.
Ruth Thomas and Michael Williams can't understand why anyone would have wanted to shoot their son.
Soul of everything.
Ruth Thomas and Michael Williams can't understand why anyone would have wanted to shoot their.
So it really makes sense to me. The more I learn about her, it really makes sense as to why she is the way she is. Do you know what I mean? Because she got pregnant in her formative years. Do you know what I mean? Like the emotional, like she seems to be just stuck in time. Do you know what I mean? So it says the colour of a young father who was shot dead at a party Needon? Needon. 3 years ago, he's still walking the streets. So this is her son. Yeah. Rowan Thomas Williams was blasted in the chest at celebrations in Mulberry Court. Yeah, it's a Elligar Avenue in the early hours of December the 6th, 2013. The police were called to the reports of gunshot at 2 o'clock, but found no one there. Instead, the victim's friends had already taken him to hospital in northwest London, where the paramedics called the police before he sadly died from his injuries around 9:40 a.m. Last year, the detectives investigating the murder put up a 20,000 reward for information leading to the killer's death. I mean, to the 20-year-old killer. But to this date, no one has been charged. Well, you know what it is in the black community. You know how people are, yeah? Same old, yeah? So this is the son.
And that point that Betty just made there is what I don't get. Because she sits online saying snitches get stitches and don't go to the police and everything else. But she did go to the police. She did put out a public appeal. And all that hard work to try and get justice, unless they've already got justice since, I don't know, maybe in the preceding 7 years, like from this live stream.
Gummy,
maybe they have found the killers and put them away. I don't
swear
know.
down, Gummy. This is why
you know, but if they haven't,
yeah, you've never heard Divine or myself or any of the females even say that. That's a man thing. That's respecting them. And you've even heard us talk against it, but you're still willing to. Oh, you're disgusting, man. You're just a piece of shit, man. You're a piece of shit. But you know what? You're exposing yourself, man. But you're a piece of shit, man. The thing is, you can let the thing play, you know. Yeah, and do your thing and still talk on truth. But you still have to let the thing play and lie. You're lying. Betty's lying. It's just all a lie. And then, I swear down. And you're using Betty. Yeah, but you see, I'm going to play the things that you said about Betty to show you that you're both ill, man. Yeah, you're both ill. Yeah, and I swear to God, man. You're disgusting, man. And you use people. You're a very big user. You just use people. Because right now you're throwing Betty under the bus. Yeah, because you know half the stuff she's saying is shit. That's why you keep saying, I'm only playing, yeah, because you're trying to separate yourself away from the shit, but you're in the shit, my girl. Yeah, there's no way you're separating yourself from this shit. Just like you tried to separate yourself from Moon the other day, And this is what you do when you couple up and you dash them, man. That's why you ain't got no friends in real life, man. For real. No friends in real life. No female can stay around you, man. You ain't got no friends. I guarantee you this woman has got no friends in real life.
If she was really serious about stopping violence in London,
listen to this.
You'd think she'd talk about it more often, wouldn't you? Instead of
what, relive her pain, you
other
mean?
people online that have got nothing to do with any of her grief or angst.
Anyway, we'll...
Because that's not the reason she was racist to me, and that's not the reason she was racist to Hector. We didn't even know about her son on the day that she was racist to us the first time we met. I knew absolutely nothing about this woman.
So what's that got? What do you...
And all of the vitriolic stuff that she's done since, saying grandma should get offline and your grandmother, you're this, you're that, and she's a grandmother herself. It's unbelievable.
Ruth Thomas, aka Lady D, has previously made an emotional appeal for information leading to her son's killer. She said Rowan had his whole life ahead of him. He was at an age where he wanted to build a future for himself and his children. I'm convinced there are people in the local community who have important information or know who's responsible. I would urge those with information to come forward and assist us with our information. Well, I remember when Jediah was bullying me, you refused to give me any information, all you fucking people. When he was bullying me, threatening me, doxing me, you, Lady D, never fucking said a word, even though you know his real name. Yeah. So I don't see why anybody needs to give any information on your son when you didn't want to assist me when I was getting death threats from fucking Jediah and his fucking crew. Yeah. The irony of it, you want people to do for your son, yeah, but you don't do for a black woman like me. Yeah. It says this was a callous and brutal murder, and Roman's mother and wider family have been left completely devastated. If you have any information, please do not remain silent. Anything we do receive will be treated with sensitivity and...
Now, the fact they said Ryan's mother and wider family means that the mum and dad weren't together. Notice that when they did the news report as well, it was Ruth Thomas, and I think the father's name is a Mr. Williams. Two different surnames.
The utmost confidence. And you see, I did a show revealing Jediah's information, not his information, but his sisters and families. That's why he took the videos down of him attacking me and bullying me online, because I exposed Jediah's information and his family's information. And that's what you have to do with these bullies. Once you start exposing them and the information, all suddenly videos go down, they start backtracking and stuff like that. So this is where, is it Needen? Is it Needen? And it's Hansden. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. I'm not very good at reading.
Yeah, I think she's deliberately not giving the exact pronunciations. You'll see it yourself if you read the stream.
But yeah, so it says DCI Graham from the Met Homicide and Murder Crime Command, who is leading the murder hunt, says he previously told the Times, "I'm convinced that there are people in the local community have important information. Whoever is responsible, I would urge those with information to come forward and assist with our investigation." I mean, come on. You know this bitch, she doesn't assist. She's not assisted me with all the bullying and I've got received from fucking Jedi, I'm sure. I mean, it's just karma's just coming back to bite this fucking Ruth, i.e. Lady D, because she assists criminals like the Nigerian common class, allows the threat, me being threatened for years, being doxxed.
What's interesting is that the local community didn't help her, okay? They didn't help her. I find that really strange because the community I live in, even though we got vilified in the papers, Eltham, when you watch the actual documentary and you actually go through it, many locals actually put forward the name of the people that they believed had committed the crime against Stephen Lawrence. May his soul rest in peace. Very sad story. It was a racist murder. And the reason he didn't get justice is because the father of one of the children was corrupt. He was a gangster that was paying the police. Her community didn't come forward. Does that tell you that they don't value each other where she lives? Don't they value life? Because forget the fact that within the black community, they all close down and don't speak. I mean, I'm assuming she's in a predominantly black community. If they didn't come forward and say anything, maybe not. You would think at least somebody, one person would come forward and stay because they value her family. Yeah, there she is being vile and everything to me, trying to tell me about my life that she knows nothing about, saying that people don't like me, this, that, and the other. No one gives a fuck about me. My kids are demons, etc., etc. She don't know anything about me, not one thing. And if she wants to believe shit from Wendy, well, good luck. Wendy told me a load of shit that I repeated when I was friends with that woman. It turned out not to be true. I.e., what she told me about motion. She weren't the only one, to be fair. There was other people. And I realise that woman's full of bullshit as well. And I've apologised to Motion because I genuinely meant it. Lady D doesn't deserve an apology off me because of the way that she's
lying.
about me
You
and my
did not
children.
apologize to Motion. You apologized to Jedi to get back on his channel, just like you apologized to Biggish to get back on his channel, but no one else.
So,
like, stop lying.
Welcome, tomfoolery.
Yeah, tomfoolery.
They
needs
said
to
the
be
local
in
black
your
community
fucking
did not
journey.
share information. They stayed silent, and still the killer had not been convicted in 2024, and the murderer was black.
Black.
Community should come forward and share
The murderer
information
wasn't black,
49
actually. He
people
was
witnessed the
Turkish,
shooting.
you dumb piece of shit.
But 40 people say
You're
they said they saw nothing.
Gummy.
It's
I swear to
disgusting.
God, man. You're just exposing yourself, Gummy, man. You're exposing yourself, man. You're exposing yourself, my girl. But you're
Kerrigan said years ago, I did say
hurt,
we need
man.
strong women to speak out on things.
Danny Roscoe
This wasn't what I'd
came and
expected,
done
to be
your
honest.
dance.
Enjoy the
You're
evening,
hurt,
people.
man.
You see, and this is what I don't understand with Lady Divine, right? And I'm going to say this with wholeheartedness. I do empathise with her loss, and I do even sympathise with her loss. I feel sorry for her. I don't think any mother should have to lose a child, especially under such violent circumstances. Gone just like that. There is a certain lifestyle that increases your risk, but we're never going to get anywhere if we don't have a high trust society. And if people don't call out the badness in their own. And when I see Lady Divine online talking about snitches get stitches and acting all gangster when she knows what it's cost her in the real world, it only confuses me more. Because despite what these people think, I do know a lot of black people in the real world. And none of them carry themselves like Lady Divine or Nine Ether. They're much more articulate. They're much more brighter. They express themselves. They know what they want for the future. And they know that what she's doing is actually detrimental. And tomfoolery is in my side chat, and she actually goes onto this stream with Betty and speaks. And I don't know this lady, but I must say she's very articulate, the way she speaks. And she raised some really good talking points, which leads me to the reason why I decided to do this stream. Because Lady D's son does deserve justice, along with all the other children that have been murdered. And I just don't understand why Lady D gave up her fight for justice. Because if she's so brave, why isn't she brave enough to keep speaking? And you know what? Even though I don't like the woman, I would have fought for her to get justice for her child. So tomfoolery said, Lady D needs to direct her anger at those that stayed silent, those that took her son to hospital, and the police. Attacking people on YouTube is outrageous. So let's carry on listening, because when tomfoolery comes on and has a discussion with Betty, it becomes really, really interesting. Tomfoolery says, why does Lady D not give her murdered son's name out? I don't know. But you did raise some really good questions, and that's why I want to play this stream.
And she does nothing, even though she knows she has information. And now she's in the newspaper fucking crying about telling people to bring information of her dead son. Do you know what I mean? The hypocrisy of it. Yeah. So we've got that article of him. And she says, what's interesting, she says in How I Got Older, she says in the what do you call it? Gang Unite, she talks about him and what happened, what year, how old he was. So that's all it took for me to find the information, because she talks so much. Yeah. Let's see. Tomfoolery saying, sounds like another Sasha Johnson. Yeah. Local community stay silent, yet the black community call for united front, hypocrites. That's what I mean. She said, I'm not really surprised that nobody's and this is what I think is driving her anger, because how many is it? 2013, we're in 2024. It doesn't look like anyone's been charged on her son's murder. I think they found the killer's angle. I think they might have found the killer's angle. Let me just type in there's some information. But that is what's driving her anger. I remember one time when I was having an argument with her, she was like, oh, I'm going to have as many kids as I want, blah, blah, blah. Like that's what a lot of people try and do, don't they? When their child has died, they try and replace them. But you can't replace a child. I don't think you ever really get over it. But I'm done fed up of this bitch. I'm done fed up of her, man. And all the wicked girl talk and all the threats that I put up with this gal, man. I'm not surprised. You should go and find your son's murderer. And then instead you're threatening online, you're threatening me and Jupiter and everybody else fucking online, like the skanky mother that you are. Like, good Lord. Yeah. It says, so yes, I've got an article here, and it says, this is from My London News. It says that 3 people were arrested shortly after Mr. Thomas Williams' death, but no further action was taken against them. It says in January this year, a 26-year-old was arrested on suspicion of murder. He was bailed pending further inquiries to date in July 2015. Yeah. So to me, it doesn't really look like anybody is being found, guilty or found it. You know what I mean? And I think that's why she's so angry. Because I was always wondering why she was so angry. People used to, what's up with this guy, man? You know what I mean? But to me, it makes sense now that a lot of what she's saying, she says out of grief. Do you know what I mean? But you don't get that right. You don't get that right to be bullying people, threatening people, mocking my children, and saying, "No, my son died, my son tired, I can do it." You know what I mean? Betty doesn't have children, blah blah blah. It's not me that doesn't have children. It's you that doesn't have a son. That is why you're getting upset. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no coming back from death, is there, Lady D? There's no coming back from death. Yeah. But God, to me, it really makes sense as to why she's like that. Like, this girl is just the gutter. Gutter. She's from the gutter. Really. The emotional problems. It really makes sense as to why she is the way she is. Do you know what I mean? I'm not surprised no one's coming forward. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really surprised that was coming forward with the way she carries on. Yeah. And this is what, like tomfoolery says, this is one of the issues. Like you said, tomfoolery made a good point in terms of Sasha Johnson thing, in where you've got community or these community activists that are running around talking about they're doing this and they're doing that, but they're going around threatening and violence and doing the most. They are part of the problem in the black community. Yeah. So we've got another article here. It says 2 years, the close friends were celebrating a birthday. Yeah. And no one was at the scene. They've already taken him to the hospital. That's strange, isn't it? So that everybody fled the scene. Anyway, I want to play what Lady D, i.e. Ruth, said. Yeah, so I'm not even going to be calling. I'm not going to be calling Lady D a lady. I'm just going to call her fucking Ruth. Yeah.
Big up yourself, dummy, man.
This is her on the.
Yeah, you've shown how weak of a specimen you are, dummy. You're weak,
class. The criminal
you're
class.
Weak, you're weak.
You're full of the Nigerian criminal class. You've got the Jamaican criminal class coming together to say they're going to stop the violence. At the same time, threatening violence and committing violence. Yeah, this is what we got. It was called the Gang Unite. It should have been called. They call it the G. Is it G Unite, or it should have been called? I used to call it the G Circus. That's what it is. It's a bunch of fucking clowns and ex-criminals and criminals fucking going around threatening other black people for even critiquing them, claiming that they're going to stop the violence while where they are the violence. Yeah. So let's listen to her. Yeah.
Those listening, this is just for documentation, yeah. So don't watch that in the family, man. But these are real life settings, you get me? So don't watch that. And if you can't stomach it, you move on, man. Like I said, documentation settings, man.
Okay, so I'm one of the mothers that has lost a child to street crime.
Say it again. No, say it again with them understanding of. I
am one of the mothers who have lost their children to street crime. My son was taken in 2013. He was shot at a party, straight in his chest, right underneath his heart. So I understand what this parent is going through, or parents are going through tonight. I've been there, and I'm still going through it. I hear people talking about the police and, what the support they get. You don't get support. They send victim support to your house. They try to buy you out, give you money, and tell you to just cool. That's what happens. They don't do nothing. They don't want to know. They're not really interested. To them, just another black youth. Goodbye. That's one less for them to deal with. That's how they see this thing. Now, my son has left sisters, brothers, half brothers.
Now, what I found interesting at that point, sorry for stopping, because it is quite emotive now. We're into the emotive stuff. Yeah. And there is no disrespect intended here, because I think this is quite a sad story that she's ended up the way she has. But if she'd have carried on to the YouTube and spoke nicely and expressed herself nicely, there is so many people that would have given her support. So many. Instead of bad-mouthing others and slagging off other people and all of the vile threats that she's done and everything else. She said here that they send victim support and give you money. I'd like to know what she meant by that. I think that's very important, especially as the corruption and all of the racism and everything else is meant to be being exposed by the police, especially as we can now see that there is two-tier policing. I'd like to know what she meant about they give you money.
Half sisters. And what am I supposed to tell them? What am I? My son will be 25 next month, if he was still here. He will be 25. He's no longer here. He went to a party, never even got into the party. He was outside the party door, a fight broke out. My son, being the son he is, stepped from the back of the crowd to the front to try and part the fight. My son got the gunshot straight in his chest. That's what happened to my son. So it's not always a case of our youths are violent or they're lost or they don't know what they're doing. Sometimes our youths are trying to step in to solve the problem between other youths. And
the problem is you're violent. You're a violent mother. You're online, offline, threatening people, threatening violence, harassing people. I mean, you had your baby at 16, for fuck's sake. This son, married at 16. She must be my age. Because come on, count that. If her son is 30, if he's going to be 30, this was 5 years ago. Count another 5 years on top. Her son would be 30. And I remember her saying that she got married at 16. How old was she when she had this son? For goodness sake. No wonder you're so aggressive and so skanky. No wonder. She lost her son to bad choices and poor parenting. Yeah, you can see those killers are shaking their hand and liking it in their face. That's what I'm saying. You can tell. Talk the things, Tom. Talk the things.
their life get taken.
So then should that be our responsibility then as the elders to dictate, to look after them, to show them the right way? Because he as a youngster is trying to do that, but then he's put himself in a situation that now can't be changed. What should we be doing? What should we be doing? Even as black men in the community?
I really don't know. For me, when I went through it, I was gone. So I had 2 years, I never left the house, I never saw nobody, I didn't want to speak to nobody, I didn't want to deal with nobody. No one could talk to me, no one could chat to me, because all I want to know is, why is my son? What did my son do? Why can't no one tell me nothing? And the thing about it is, there's another thing with our community, this whole, oh, no man must talk thing, everyone keep quiet. When my son got shot, there was over 40 people outside the door trying to get in, yet no one don't see nothing. No one.
It's the same way when Jedediah and that fucking Maku have been threatening me, and you don't know his name. You don't know anything in it. You're refusing to give Jedediah's real name. I've got Maku's real name because he's got a whole fucking business. Yeah. But you kept quiet into it. When I'm blind, and you're sitting there talking black power. Oh, but now you're saying you want to keep quiet when Betty's getting threatened. But when your son gets killed and all suddenly the black community needs to speak up into it, you're fucking hypocrite. Yeah. Now you're saying that there were 40 people.
Again, I've got to reiterate that Betty's comments are her own comments from her own point of view when it comes to that. But what I will say is she was very vocal on these G-Walks. I've never seen this before, by the way, this footage that's being played. They must have assumed I'd seen it. I hadn't. Okay? So there was 40 witnesses. She was speaking out very, very, very loudly then. Why is she still not speaking out now? What changed her into saying snitches get stitches? What changed her into saying, don't talk about these things? What changed her into, instead of criticising and being the decent woman that she was, into the person that makes threats online? Has this YouTube experience been beneficial to her at all?
At the party trying to get in, but nobody saw anything. Well, it's the same way you don't know Jedi's name when Jedi was being threatening me for years. You, Raven, and all you other fucking clowns, yeah, that talk about protecting black people as long as you don't protect black women in it. You're a bunch of fucking clowns, yeah. It says those killers are that was to say, yeah. This is I'm thinking Tom Freeland makes a good point. This woman is filled with violence. She needs to direct her anger at the black community and at the party. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. But so what I want to do is after this, I want to play how she was carrying on the G block and how she was threatening Jupiter. And I remember Jupiter's not saying anything, just sitting there, She just comes in trying to be cool. Do you know what I mean? I think Jupiter, after she's had a holiday in Greece, and Hector. They're just trying to be cool. She's not trying to get into conversation. But you can tell she's constantly, she don't let anybody talk on the G block. How many people? There was 9 of us on the panel. All you got is Lady D and fucking Naifa attacking Jupiter. Yeah. You can see where it's coming from now. Let me just play a bit of this.
Yeah, the silence is because Betty's silent on her own stream, not because I've paused it, by the way. Don't know what Betty's doing, so let's move it along. Oh, she's gone to find the stream she wants to play. Hold on.
On your channel and not on Belly.
The very first time we met, there was no talk about Sivnat or Efnat. It was talking about slavery in Africa. And you and Lady Divine got up in your feelings to take her the white eye.
We're not speaking about that. Once again, you're doing whataboutisms and trying to finesse the people. Yes.
The fact that you came out announcing yourself as an ethnic, why on this panel? That's what you did.
Yeah, hi, whoever's on the panel. Hello.
Hey, mate, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Mike Nemesis, how can I help you?
How are you doing today?
Yeah, well, obviously, if you've not read the show, we're reviewing an online bully.
Do what? You're reviewing an online bully. Well, that's good, but I will say maybe the bully is not.
Yeah, so we're gonna kick him out because obviously he's talking like he don't know what's going on. He's just chatting shit. Yeah, this is something serious. Do you know what I mean? This is not a plaything. Yeah.
That is a fact and it's a recorded fact.
At these right-wing places, man.
Oh, Jupiter, do you know when you first come around and you had these right-wing views and a black husband, didn't you think anyone was going to pull you up on that?
I've still got right-wing views.
Yeah, but I'm saying, don't you think that people are going to find that weird? Like when you say you're an FNAT, you say you're an FNAT.
Let me ask you a question. On Reels.
All I know is all the.
He was asking for his chain back.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, bitch.
So I need to make it very clear at this point. I am not an FNAT. Okay? It's bloody ridiculous that these people still go round.
You came online saying you was an FNAT.
Was there a time that I said I was?
There you go, bam. You see?
Wind fucking respect.
You see?
Because
you see,
and
you
saying I was a racist. I kept telling him I wasn't a racist.
The only reason why you didn't remain so is because they
went
wasn't
on
having
for
it.
fucking months. And in the end, I went, yeah, I'm an FNAT anyway now, so it don't matter.
Anyway, listen, anyone that continues to be,
and I went, well, I've been telling you that for months.
I ain't got nothing to say, man. But yo,
so
I think I've got what I need.
I'm not an FNAT.
I'm probably gonna let it play for a little bit longer.
Never have been.
We'll just go over to the block because I'm sure everyone's sick of this already, innit? Because I'm definitely.
Have I spoken to FNATs? Yes.
You get me?
Do I understand
all
some
they're
of
gonna
their
do now is
opinions?
just finesse and blah 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 and blah blah blah. So
doesn't mean
I'll let it play for a little bit, and then obviously we just go over to the block and hopefully there's a little bit more sensibility. But yeah, man, this is where we.
There's no way that I would stand with people.
Documentation, but yeah, the hate and jealousy. What we'll do is
that's ridiculous.
We'll review a show to make you know why she's in her feelings.
Low IQs.
We done a show with someone called Danny Roscoe, and we bagged it up.
In all the days of my life I've been on this planet Earth, I've never, unlike you, own a fucking criminal record. Never been convicted of anything. Never been a part of any fucking far-right fucking organisation.
Okay, night everybody. God bless.
Or pain or any form of criminal activity on anybody. So you can go and scream all you want or on any fucking panel you want, but my record is clean and speaks for its fucking self, bitch. Now what?
So is mine.
Now what?
You've been arrested fucking 2 times over fucking
Liverpool 1-0 up still.
Yeah, but
no,
no
you're lying.
actions. I've never got charged with nothing, you silly
And
cow.
as Miss Fabulous stepped with you know, you're lying.
And just to make this clear, the only time in my life I've ever been in a police station and accused of something was due to people online. One was Betty. No further action.
Same bomber
And the other
clock
one
girl
was
that you're
Vida.
trying to. This is what I'm trying to
Vida
say. You're a
reported me and told them
dickhead,
that I
man.
was the fucking leader of the far right because of these stupid trolls on here. No further action.
All
on
right,
that because
5
I
more
soon
minutes,
realised what a
family. Then we'll
mistake they'd
go
made.
through the block, man, because
It's
I'm
ridiculous,
actually sick
really.
of hearing this old heifer's voice now. But
my friend Divine.
Yeah, but she's
got what we
acting
got.
like
Get
We
me in
need
her
what
bad
we need,
books.
man.
She's gonna get me in her bad books over here.
No, Jake, you're not going to be in the bad book. The fact of the matter is, I've never had to waste police fucking time, resources, fucking calling up people, fucking doxing people. I've never had to do none of that. I've never been in a criminal activity, never got any fucking conviction.
She's never wasted police time or had to call them up or anything like that. Her child got murdered. She was with the police asking for assistance.
So is that
so she
wasting
could get
police
justice,
time,
and
Gummy?
rightly so.
You know what? I'm gonna let it
What's she
play.
talking about?
You are
In my
you're
day, in my
you're
life, yeah,
thick,
I brought up
man.
kids without
You're
no
thick.
fucking criminal, no,
Gummy,
no,
you just
no
showed
record of
how
fucking domestic
desperate
abuse that
you
I've
are,
done
babe.
all of
You're
that. And guess what? Her record
anyway.
will
Let me
never
just
stand
chill out,
compared to
man. You're
mine.
desperate,
She
babe.
can do what she's doing, but
Big
the
up
fact of the matter
yourself,
is she'll
Katie
never
Beanie.
stay in my lane. She can never walk
Talk
in
is
my
cheap.
lane. Never. She has to
Talk
walk in
is
my
telling you,
cheap.
shadow
Katie,
at
this is
all
where we're at,
times.
though.
She
This
has
is
to
where
walk
we're
in my
at, man.
fucking shadow at all times.
I
Believe that.
don't walk in your shadow.
We
I
would
wouldn't
agree
want
that
to
you're
be
both
you.
supremacists, and maybe these things might be able to be changed in time. Maybe you'll die supremacists. It's okay. You're both supremacists. Cool.
I'm not a supremacist. I don't
You're
believe
like,
white
you said
people
you're
are better
elevated.
than black people.
Zalili said I killed the witness. Tarashin.
You're
Jake,
elevated.
Jake, you're a vegan supremacist, so you can shut up.
Oh, yeah.
No, that shut him up. Little tramp.
I don't believe black people or white people are better than the other.
No, you think Jupiter's better than all the other planets?
Yeah, I'm winding them up, Jake. They don't get it.
No, but Jupiter, how do you feel about people who feel that they're better than you? Does that aggravate you?
No, but why would I care?
Of course it aggravates them.
No, it's...
Come on.
All right, I'm exaggerating.
And in us.
That's a
So
lie.
to say that
That's
that
a
we were
lie.
dragging.
That's a lie.
That is a
We
lie.
didn't
But I'm
know
gonna let her
nothing
speak. I'm gonna let
about
her
that.
speak.
Stop
It's a
lying,
lie, but
man.
let her speak. It's a lie, but let her speak. Let her carry on.
Go and get the recording. Go and get the recording.
Oh, God,
Just finish what you were saying before people start talking again, Jupiter. Finish what you're saying so that they can address the points that you claim is true and they claim is not true, rather than the talking over each other.
Yeah,
Finish what you're saying.
But the fact is, the reason that I don't want to speak to it, but in my opinion, that's not where we fell out. We fell out in the beginning over you being racist to my husband on the very first time that he came on. Then we came to a resolution and we were civil with each other. And then when the statues got pulled down, you sat on Veli's one day and said, "We're going to pull down all your ass clock statues, bomber clock." And I said,
so what Jupiter's talked about in terms of the racing towards Hector, there is a double standard. You know, there are other people that have interracial relationships, but they're not called all these racial epithets in the way that Hector is. Yeah. That's what she's talking about. You know, I'm free Hector, putting Hector in a cage, free Hector. There's a lot of abuse that Hector has received and mocked. And it is a double standard because the other black men that have got white partners have not had that. And it is unfair. So I appreciate why she's upset. Yeah, but you can see that Jupiter's not on this panel attacking. She's getting attacked by Naifa and Lady D. And Veli's nowhere to be seen. How is that fair? And he claims that his show is not about personals, but you allow this to go on for more than an hour. That's why I just got off. Because I thought it's just ridiculous. You know, you can't even have a conversation on the show because you just got this woman is clearly angry about the fact that no one's been arrested for her son's murder. And she's attacking and she's allowed to attack. She shouldn't be attacking people over her son. Nobody's responsible for a son's murder except the people that killed. And you're just using your son's murder for clout.
To you, shut up, you fucking bomber clock. And from that day on, Nynefa decided to back you up and you two stopped talking to me again.
That's a lie.
Okay, so can I give my version of what actually happened? Wait, Nine, wait. Before you go, let me give you a version of what really happened. Because this is what her nan says that she likes to keep repeating, but she forgets all the fucking things. She likes to make out that we were some fucking friends or something like that before all of this and before the statue thing, yeah? That's a lie. Let me tell you the day that she crossed the line for me of no return. That day of that panel with her, Wendy and Betty. For me, the gloves were off. There is no fucking coming back. Hence why when I tell Diana and all them...
Right. That's a lie. I've got a live stream and I can prove it where Lady Divine come onto my channel and asked me to go over to Nynefa's and have a discussion with them. That day that I went over there for that discussion is the day that Zabida come on to say that she'd fallen out with Maku and that Maku had been talking about Lady Divine.
What are you talking about, Heifer?
That's how it goes around on these channels.
This is what I'm saying. You're
People
contradicting your own self now, Heifer.
Which is where, by the way, I picked up her name Ruth because Zabida came on and said, well, this is what Maku told me in private, this, that and the other, and that you slept with Respect, this, that and the other, and a load of other stuff. I've got the live stream where Lady Divine come on and asked me to
5 more minutes, no, 4 more minutes of this family, and then we're good, man, because I've had enough.
The fact is, that argument that we had after Betty's panel was five years ago.
I ain't gonna tell bites, but we're gonna be going over to the block.
Gonna repeat the timeline again.
And
we went on. My husband went on to Respects. Everybody turned on him and was being racist. I defended my husband because I loved him.
Because I love him.
They then called me racial names.
No.
I reversed the insult back to them.
I'm going to listen to 5 more. Like, this is her. She's closing up now. She's rounding up now. Yeah, she's rounding up. So then, listen, like I said, a few more minutes
Betty
and then we're out of here.
Sent me an email requesting that I go on to her channel because Wendy had asked her to go on because Wendy had been disgusted by what they'd done to Hector. Quite ironic, actually.
3 more minutes.
So we went on to Betty's, and during the course of that live stream, Betty informed me that that woman had lost her
narratives,
son.
this, that, and the other, man. But
I
tonight's
think her
been a good
actual words
exposure
were,
still, man, regardless.
she should spend her time.
And if you think that
putting
you can
flowers
use
on
my
her son's
sister's
grave,
quote
but not
unquote
being
to get,
racist
it's not
online.
gonna work, my girl. Get
Something
me.
along
The
those
fuck?
lines. And I said I didn't know nothing about her son. But I did hear her saying something about he got stabbed or something on one of Respect's live streams. That's what I said. Right? Because that is what I assume she meant, because they'd been talking about knife crime and fighting against knife crime. And she came on and said, yeah, I lost my son, this, that, and the other. And because she didn't stipulate that she'd lost him through gun violence and not knife violence, and it was a show that was dedicated to knife violence, I assumed that she meant knife violence. That's all I said. It can't be nice to actually lose a child, I actually said. Lady Divine took offence because I'm white and because she didn't like the fact that I was with a black man, and tried to blow it up and make it into something else. And I think she was arguing with Betty at the time, but I didn't know that because obviously I didn't know all the into politics. Then Wendy Wu did a live stream where she recorded all the things that Lady Divine has said about us, and it was kind of dissected. Months later, after they'd followed me from Respects to Reels, gave me a load of abuse there, and I was on Vellies. I used to go back to Reels once in a while. I left them mainly to it because I couldn't be bothered arguing with them and all of their abuse. We came to a conclusion. We stopped arguing. We drew a bit of a truce. I think with the assistance of Jedi Maku, to be fair. And we were cordial to each other. We could engage in debates. We'd have a different point of view. And we tolerated each other on Vellies.
right,
Until
I'm gonna leave it there, man, because
Black Lives Matter
finessing and lying and remixing
after
this,
they
that, and the
did
other.
their
So
protest.
Veli
and after
is
Tommy
on
Robinson
Veli
did a
Vision, the
video
G Block. You don't know
speaking
where
out
we're
about
at,
the
so we're gonna go over there still. But
Marxism
you
in
don't
Black
know
Lives Matter and how the funding
settings
wasn't going to
and that.
go to the actual
Yeah,
black
we had
community.
to be
And
here
I
to
actually
hear it,
spoke
man.
out and
Because
said that I agreed
you know
with
what I mean?
Tommy Robinson on
If
that
you want to
point.
tell people, say, this one,
She
they'll
was
be like,
on
no,
live stream.
man, I lie
All
you
of the
tell
Black Lives
man,
Matter
but this
stuff
is
was
what it
coming
is,
up.
man.
She was in
So she's basically
full
using an unwell person to do her dirty work.
everything Black
That's
Lives Matter
normal.
did. She now
She's
claims that she
used
was
in
never
the
Black
past.
Lives
She's
Matter.
used
Oh yes, she
Wendy.
was.
She's used Luke.
Her
She's
whole
used
persona
Dave.
reverted
She's
back to
used
the militant, racist, black supremacist that she is.
Oh, and
she
this is
screamed
where
abuse
we've got
at me.
to. Her trying to say I'm a black. Anyway,
That's
tomorrow
what
this is
happens,
really
Nine. That's what the
exciting.
crux
We're
of
gonna
her
come in with a
argument
review
is.
I called
of
her a
us
bomb
talking to
imitated her
Danny
accent, her
Roscoe,
patois.
and that's what done her dance.
She
man.
got annoyed
Big up
because
yourself.
hardly anyone ever
Over
stood
to
up
the
to her
block.
when she used to
One
have
love.
these rants.
We're
you
out,
see.
man. Thanks for staying.
I'd seen
man.
her rant at Ards. I'd seen her rant at Wendy. I'd seen her rant